Hostilities have already begun. Geelong going to the right in the first quarter. Capacity crowd here at Kardinia Park. Knocked away by Burke. Huge bandage. Another Burke gets into the action. Devonport chips the ball out wide. Bowie just off the edge of the square. Long kick down to Lowe. What would have been Tony Lockett territory. And that's out of bounds. Boundary throw in about 35 metres from the behind post.
That's a good matchup, I think, Pete, because I don't think there would have been any player in the Geelong side capable of holding Stewie Lowe. The only one, Barry Stoneham, maybe.
Allen and Burke go at it. Going to be a titanic struggle here this afternoon. Stoneham got a nasty knock in the state game early. McGrath goes down, but he butted up well. No free kick for that. The umpire calls play on. Winmark, good tackle. And again a stalemate. The umpire has decided to ball it up. Free kicks, I'm sure Peter McKenna and you, Bernie Quinlan, would agree. Hard to get in front of goal.
Yes, that's for sure. There's Adrian Fletcher on screen. He'll be keen to perform against his old club. There's Damien Burke hooking it out wide. That was well done by the big red-headed ruckman. On to Couch. Couch to the wide open spaces. It's 2 against 1. Robert Harvey's had a magnificent season. Goes back inside to Bingham. On to Morris. 2 former Hawthorn players combining there to the half-forward line. Thumped away. That was by Handley and straight over the line. Half forward for the Saints is Steve Handley. He's been a real surprise packet this year for the Cats. Burke taking over the #1 ruck mantle today. Selected on interchange. There's a quick kick by Malakalis. The centre wing. Roberts got the fly and gave away a free kick. Advantage paid. Craig Devonport into half forward. Winmar couldn't trap it. Nathan Burke inside. Robert Harvey already in the action. Chips it in short. Good play, Harvey. And the mark has been taken by Frank Coughlin.
It was very clever by Harvey, wasn't it? The way he just got around Kenny Hinkley very easily. And now this has given Coughlin a chance from about 50 metres out.
A few blonde tips in the hair there too, Bernie, I think, from last year. Frankie Coughlin, he'll kick from 50. Not noted as a long kick. Breeze a little bit left to right. You can see it taking it across. And sneaks it through for a behind. That's the first score of the match to the Saints. Behind to Frank Coughlin.
With Stoneham on the back line, we've got Billy Brownless playing at centre half forward and Gary Ablett lining up at full forward.
Burke in front. Long knock on. With the back of the fist. Russell Morris is in the road. Scott takes him down. A play on call from the umpire. Hocking looks for one in the back. And they're letting it go. Perhaps Pete Central umpire.
Too close to holding the ball though, wasn't it?
Now there's a decision going Geelong's way.
Yes, against Morris, Pete. I agree with that. He had a long time, didn't he, to get rid of it, and very slow.
Gary Hocking. But as Stephen, of course, still out suspended. Ablett was the target, got well underneath the ball. Scott played a great game for Victoria. Gets taken high by Burke and should get a free kick. He will get a free kick, but right on the boundary line. Just about right on 50. Ablett on a lead. He's closer to goal, but the angle is more severe.
Ablett, of course, a danger man for Geelong. He had a slightly quiet match last week, only kicking 2 goals, but the conditions are a lot different to what they are today, Peter. Very difficult conditions for a forward line player last week.
What a great camera shot of this action, though, Bernie.
Yes, he's already kicked 38 goals for the season, Gary Ablett.
Distance won't be a problem. Fires a goal, looks pretty good. It's there. Gary Ablett gets first goal of the match for Geelong and they lead by 5 points.
There he is, the Geelong champion, Gary Ablett, lining up at full forward. He has been lining up around the centre of the ground at each centre square bounce. Geelong playing with more of a 5-man forward line, and Ablett also drifting down to that forward line when the opportunity arose. But today lining up at full forward with the lining up of Stoneham at full back on low.
Good start to the Geelong champ, Gary Ablett. Now it's Paul Couch, a booming torpedo punt. Ablett, was he pushed out of it? No. Umpire calls play on. This is Tim Pekin coming across the face of goal on the left foot. Dangerous. Finds Harvey. Well, he's dropped the mark but paid. Robert Harvey ready in the action. Class player to centre wing. It's all Geelong. Merriman couldn't take it. Now it's Bowie to the half forward line. Kick it back with the flight. Couldn't mark. tapped away from him as players pounce in on top of it. Here's Stuart Lowe, seems to be out of centre-half forward now, goes to ground, a little shove in the back. Kickett's got 3 Geelong players to beat. Oh, Lowe went in very hard on Malakella's hip and shoulder. It's a big, strong body hitting you too. Paul Couch to half forward. Oh, Bingham got the boot out. Riccardi, Brownless. Hand pass looking for Gary Hocking. Brownless is there again. Bingham. Now Harvey again. Devonport. The Saints did it well. Out of defence, and the long kick out towards the half forward line. Bowie's after it. Russell Merriman hot on his hammer, but the ball eludes both players and over the line.
Yes, I think you're right now, Pete, with Suey Lowe out at centre half forward, followed by Stoneham, of course. He has a job on him. And Tim Allen now lining up at full forward for St Kilda.
Burke and Vidovic. Run by Burke again. Couch's hand pass is smothered. Geelong have the numbers at the ball, but no one's going anywhere. Probably see a ball up. Ball scuttled out the back of the pack. Bowie. Good hand pass. Morris. Kicks to half forward. Ball bounces inside 50. Winmar overruns it. Chance for Lowe. Stoneham's with him. Not giving him much latitude at all. Handley shovels it out. McGrath, formerly from North Melbourne, kicks out to the centre wing position. A good mark taken by the Brownlow medalist Paul Couch. Playing his 150th next week, barring accidents. Pekin does well. Bowie again. Kicks up towards the centre wing position. Judgment needed here. Coghlan got underneath the ball, shoots out the hand pass. The Cats go forward again. Couch up towards or inside 50. Brown overruns it. Holding the ball. Ablett, left foot snap. Won't be a score. It will be out of bounds.
There's a bit of action over the other side of the ground there too, Peter, with Billy Brownless, Tim Pekin, Bingham and Riccardi all involved in that little altercation.
Now Devonport plucks it from just inside the line, and Russell Morris doing well so far in the first quarter. He's done well resurrecting his career since he went down to Moorabbin. Oh, that wasn't a particularly good pass. Intended for Shanahan. The Saints will get out of it. Picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher's hand pass taken by Steve Newport, the former Demon. Could have been a rather, could have been disastrous for them. This is McGrath again. And Devonport this time marks inside his own defensive 50-metre line in front of Scott.
And Tim McGrath in tip-top form. He was easily Geelong's best player last week against Collingwood in a losing side. And after a couple of difficult games early when he was thrashed by a couple of top full forwards, he's been a fine acquisition. There he was then, coming over the back, attempting to punch. Bairstow is there. Taken away by Greg. On to Bowie. Bowie caught. Gets in a hand pass. Greg again. Greg to the half-forward line. Back with the flight of the ball. Hughes, no mark. Good umpiring decision. Winmar off the ground. Can this brilliant half-forward pick it up? No, he can't. Geelong went in very, very hard. Spiro Malakelas. Low. That's the first of his marks for the game. He should have given off a hand pass, but he elects to chip it into Coghlan. Or he was off, was he? Umpire gives him the benefit. Off he goes, Frankie Coghlan. In towards full forward. Winmar at the back. Punched away by Poole. Riccardi with pace. And Peter Riccardi on the left foot kicks to the space. This is Couch. Looks as though he's in for a good game. Paul Couch to the half-forward line. Bingham versus Brownless. Brownless very disappointing last week against the Magpies in the wet at Waverley.
Yes, not ideal conditions for forwards last week. I think Billy would have been rubbing his hands together when he saw the sun shining here today.
Ken Sheldon already on the phone. Vidovic and Brownless. Won by Vidovic. Socket out of the pack, or taken away by Hinkley. And it beats Russell Morris. Busy for St Kilda in the first quarter. 4 kicks so far and 2 marks. And a good start by him. Cats have worked it inside 50. Bingham and Brownless. Brownless palms that one out. Riccardi goes at it hard. Devonport. Bowie. Pekin gets leg. Should get a free kick.
He played that well, Pete, didn't he? He never took possession of that. He knew he was about to be tackled.
Pekin was always noticeable by his socks down. I notice more recently he seems to have found a pair of garters. And Russell Morris, 3rd mark and 5th kick coming up for the former Hawk. He kicked it to Shanahan to midfield. Saints go forward again. Driven up towards Stuart Lowe. Stoneham. Brown. He'll have to be quick, not quite quick enough. St Kilda ball. Shanahan kicks inside 50. Coghlan asking the question. I was held. Buse also looking for the free kick, and Buse is going to get the free kick. Buse to Burke. Two of the important Bs down at Geelong. The other one, of course, being Billy Brownless. And the ball taken over the boundary line for the Cats by Mark Bairstow.
And he was appealing for a holding decision too, Mark Bairstow then, Pete.
I think the umpire's been pretty good so far. Haven't played any ticky touchwood stuff. Bowie takes the hand pass from Fletcher. Kick it. Farms out the hand pass once more. Burke. Beautifully delivered to Allen.
Yes, that was magnificent play by Nathan Burke. A late inclusion in the Victorian State side on Tuesday night. Well, look at this. He saw the lead from Allen. Good skills on the left side of his body. Swung it across. A centering kick as Fletcher's being replaced already. And coming on for St Kilda is Steve Cummings.
So back with Allen from 40 metres directly in front. And he has put it through for a goal.
St Kilda just in front. It's been a good opening by these two sides. Both committed. They've made a lot of changes to the selected sides, as is the norm these days. Kick it, feeding that one out to Nathan Burke. And a fine kick, fine centering kick. A good lead from Tim Allen. He didn't start at full forward, but now playing at full forward in place of Tony Lockett.
St Kilda by a point. Centre bounce, very important. Gary Hocking with strength on the left foot. Down to Peter Riccardi. Oh, he's a good player, Tim Pekin. Well played. Cummings, who's on the ground. Steve Cummings. Centre wing is Bowie. He's playing a great game so far. Here's Dean Gregg. Then the Saints are off and running again. He can have a bounce. He elects to bring it into Lowe, and Lowe takes his second mark. Big, strong mitts go up. And once they hit those hands, Bernie, it's a mark.
Yes, well, averaging 11 marks a game, Stewie Lowe. Of course, he won the E.J. Witten medal for the best on the field performance against WA on Tuesday night.
You mentioned Adrian Fletcher going off. I'm sure that is because he was picking up Couch, and Couch was really dominating in the centre of the ground. They brought on Steve Cummings, St Kilda, to pick up Couch. And this will be a handy one if he could kick their second. Stewie Lowe from 45 metres drifts it slightly to the right, and as we said earlier, the breeze are just a little bit left to right of screen, and again the ball drifts away. So Saints lead by 2 points as Handley looks for McGrath, formerly of North Melbourne. He traps it well, playing with a lot of confidence. Tim McGrath to the half forward line. Burke waits over the back. The Geelong ruckman races at it, dips the shoulder, misses the target. Well done, Morris to Pekin. Now Newport. 3 discards, those 3 players combining then from other league clubs. Punched away by Handley. There's McGrath, went without it. Now he's got it, tries to punch it back to Malakalis. He's caught by Winmar and held to him, says the umpire, so it'll be a bounce, and Winmar not happy.
No. Nicky Elvis Winmar letting the umpire know what he thought. So a bounce just outside 50 on St Kilda's forward line. Coghlan, partly smothered. Buse will see it over the boundary line in front of Harvey. 12 minutes left in the first quarter. Capacity crowd here at Kardinia Park. Excellent conditions for football. Wouldn't get a better day. And temperature around about the 18-degree mark. Vidovic and Burke go at it. Merriman past Cummings. Good tackle by Gary Hocking. It's going to be a boundary throw-in.
The other move today, Peter, Kenny Hinkley, who's been playing half-back all year for Geelong, lining up across that half-forward line, picked up by Russell Morris.
Burke and Vidovic once more. All slapped out the back to McGrath. That was almost a throw. Bairstow taken high. And the Cats are going to get clear. The ball moving up towards the midfield area. Waiting at the back is Craig Devonport. He gets around his opposite number 8 and Robert Scott. Low trajectory pass down to Nathan Burke. Busy in the first quarter. Burke outside 50. And the pass to Winmar is a gem. Although Winmar, like Gary Ablett earlier in the quarter, leading to the pocket.
You wouldn't discount him though, Peter. Nicky Winmar, very good kick. Kicking from about 40 metres out.
Distance won't be a problem. Need to aim for the left goal post with this northerly. He hasn't done that. In fact, it's going to be out of bounds on the full, so no score. And Barry Stoneham will, or should, it's going to be him, yes it is, will bring the ball back into play. Stoneham, oh, good long kick. That was a good 55 metres. Hocking is the flyer from the back, can't bring the ball down. And the end result of that is a stalemate. It will be a bounce.
The smothering in modern day football is great, Bernie.
Yes, it is. It's so very important. The 1%ers, as Robert Walsh calls them, they're very important things. The tackles, the smothers, the chases, things that don't really always go down on stats, and they're not always noticed, but so very important.
But that was Robert Harvey getting it down to low, still in that half-forward area for St Kilda. Pretty good start, Bernie, by the Saints. They've been pretty spirited.
Yes, an excellent start by St Kilda. They've covered the Geelong big men fairly well, and Geelong even having trouble getting the ball down into their forward line. Brownless now lining up at full forward. Ablett out the centre half forward. The ball not really getting past Geelong's half forward line.
That's right. St Kilda doing well in defence. Stoneham to centre wing. Oh, well picked up Hinkley, showing his class. Onto the left foot, Ken Hinkley. The two number 8s, Devonport, has been doing well. He's on Robert Scott down there. And that'll be a good matchup. Devonport can play both ends of the ground. There he is, Craig Devonport. Has been known to kick 4 or 5 goals in a match, and in fact in a quarter a couple of times. 2 points the margin. The Saints in front. Real titanic struggle going on at the moment. There's Hocking. Now Bairstow around the corner to the half-forward line. Paul Brown up in front. Punched down by Shanahan. Couch. Cummings wearing him like a glove. There's Forsman. Still at half-forward. Hinkley. Gary Hocking from 45 metres on the left foot, bangs it in at goal. Good mark and good strength by Bingham.
He's a big boy, Bingham, isn't he? He's 200 centimetres or 6'7", so taller than Billy Brownless.
Frawley on Ablett. Good matchup. A lot of good individual matchups out there today. Stoneham and Lowe at the other end. Great struggle so far. Forsman this time can't get clear. Neither can Couch. He's well pinned. The ball comes out the back of the pack. Bairstow. Not too many options for him. Tries to get a kick in, a fresh air shot. Forsman. Burke. A quick kick. Sends the ball up to the centre wing position. Good tackle by Coughlin and the ball spills free. Chance for St Kilda now as it's shoveled out to kick it. Looking for options. Goes inboard. Newport off the edge of the square. Beautiful pass. Winmar on the end of it.
Well, that's a much better lead from Nicky Winmar. We saw the previous lead he made to the boundary line, which made that angle very tight, and it's much better to have a shot at goal from out here, Pete, than from that boundary line, of course.
Well, he's not going to have a shot for goal, as it turns out. Allen gets cannoned into. Winmar should kick a goal over the top. Will be a score. Low, 2 metres out, can't miss and puts it through. So Stewie Lowe getting a goal from his second try. He's now kicked 1 goal 1 out of the Saints' tally of 2 goals 2.
Yes, well, there's plenty of space in that forward line. Really, the Geelong defenders and the ruckman not getting back to cover up the spaces. Allen not quite able to take that mark, but good play by Winmar, backing up and making a certainty of that goal by hand passing over the top to Stewie Lowe, kicking his 17th goal for the season.
Well, a good start this by the Saints. They lead by 8 points, but certainly the players are kicking about 10 or 15 metres further to the right of screen. So it's important down here at Kardinia Park that you do get a good start. Vidovic versus Burke. Burke hooks it over the top. It was Merriman. Riccardi punches it on. He's looking down there for Ablett. Paul Brown went without it. Taps it on cleverly. This is Hinkley running at the ball. He went without it also. Strong tackle. Cats supporters appealing for a free kick, but good umpiring again. And they're letting it go, and that's good. They're only playing the fair dinkum free kicks. Half forward for Geelong. Burke again. He's beaten to it by Vidovic. This is Riccardi. He can swing onto his left foot here. Oh, he went without it. It was cleverly done then by Pekin. Now it's Gary Hocking trying to get onto his left foot. Hooks it back at goal. danger here for the Saints as the pack flies. There's Ablett with that big leap. Oh, danger. Scott caught. Gets a quick kick to it. Punched away. That was by Newport. He goes to get it again. Here's Robert Scott. Oh, good play by Scott. He's caught. Look at the pressure. And Denny Frawley punches it through from behind, but enormous pressure on the players down there.
Yeah, Riccardi's in trouble behind the plate, Pete.
Aren't they manning up well, Pete? St.Kilda.
Terrific.
The way they're tackling and chasing and really harassing the Geelong forwards
good game.
into making mistakes. They're causing them to make mistakes on so many occasions.
Russell Morris kicks in for St Kilda, one of their busiest players so far. Tim Pekin doesn't let him down and takes the good mark. Not on his own defensive 50-metre line. I'm just looking at Riccardi too. He seems to have recovered from that knock. Harvey, you'll have to be quick. Gary Hocking, that's a great tackle. Is it going to be rewarded?
Yeah, deliberate. It's been paid deliberate, Peter. But that's something you cannot do in modern football, Peter. Just relax for that instant, as Harvey did on that occasion.
Over the head of Vidovic. And there he is, Peter Riccardi. As I said, he seems to have recovered, moving okay. So that's good news for Cats fans. Up towards their half-forward line. Was that Cummings or Burke? They look like with that headgear. All shuffled out towards the centre wing position. And a mark to Bowie. Played well so far.
Good mark, wasn't it?
On to Harvey. Harvey's kick around towards the right half-forward flank. Lowe and Stoneham, two of the superstars. Greg, well tackled. See, that's almost holding the ball. The umpire lets it go. Kick it. Does just that. Looks for Winmar. Couldn't find him. Oh, that is too high, is it, on Poole? He'll get the free kick. Trevor Poole from the true centre half back position. Favours the outer side. Vidovic and Burke. Bowie. Harvey. Burke again. Nathan Burke, that is. Might have been out of bounds. And in fact it was.
Peter, big task for Trevor Poole. Dacos last week, Winmar today.
Obviously highly thought of. 7 plays 14. We've got 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Burke and Vidovic again. Good deal so far. This time it's Vidovic onto Burke. Underneath it was Handley. Allen drops back. Left foot snap. That looks pretty good. It's a goal. So Tim Allen putting through St Kilda's third, and they lead 3-2 to 1-1.
Yes, and doing it very well at the moment. Tim Allen, who played full-back a couple of weeks ago and did a fantastic job against the Adelaide side, the Adelaide Crows. He kept Scott Hodges goalless on that occasion. And today up the other end of the ground, he's already kicked 2 early goals. But the pressure around the middle of the ground has been enormous, and the forwards really reaping the rewards.
The Saints by 13 points, and you can put it down to desperation at the moment. There's Russell Morris, bundled off the ball by Hinkley. Riccardi cleverly. Now, what's Trevor Poole doing up there? I wonder if he's been moved. Poole off the side of the boot to the pocket. Oh, brilliant mark by the Geelong champ, Ablett.
Just looking at Winmar, looking a little sore behind plate.
Oh, that was amazing, wasn't it, Pete? Because I think he was looking into the sun. He shaded his eyes as the ball was coming towards him. He wasn't in good position to mark. Danny Frawley in the better position to thump the ball away. And he just happened to miss it, Danny Frawley, and fell into Ablett's arms.
I thought it was certainly to be thumped out of bounds, Bernie.
Yes, it looked like it.
Again, that great camera shot. He's already Merriman coming off and Heffernan coming on for Geelong. But as we see Gary Ablett, he's had a practice shot from before from that angle. There's the kick. Oh, he's done it again. I think he has. So the Geelong champ has kicked 2 great goals from the pocket, showing his class. The margin now 7 points in favour of the Saints.
Oh, well, he's an absolute magician, isn't he, Gary Ablett? Let's look at this mark again. There's Riccardi, just feeds it out. And not a very good kick here from Trevor Poole off the side of the boot. Very ordinary kick, in fact. And there he just looked as if he was trying to shield his eyes from the sun.
So back into the centre, the Saints come forward again. It's Kickett. Hotly pursued by Malakaris. Kickett gets taken out of it. Almost a free kick for in the back there. The umpire lets it go. Kickett has a snapshot at goal. That's going pretty close, but only one behind. So a point kick by Dale Kickett to add to the Saints' tally. They lead 3-3 to 2-1 at Kardinia Park.
He actually shouldn't have passed it then to Lowe, should he, Bertie?
No, it was a poor option there from Kickett, far too short.
Pekin in front of Burke takes the mark.
Not a great kick out from fullback either. The ball not even carrying the 50-metre line.
So you can take 10 off that. So a 40-metre kick, not really good enough. Pekin would be an outside chance to kick a goal. If he had a shot, that is. Didn't do that. Marking contest. Scott taps it out. Hughes. That's a good kick. Up to midfield. Cummings overruns it. Left it behind. And that opens it up for Ablett. Frawley in pursuit. Centering kick by the champ. Marking contest down at full forward. Bairstow around Newport. Onto his right foot. Snaps and gets it. Now Mark Bairstow kicks his first, and the Cats close in close to quarter time. 2 points the difference.
He's a very important player, the Geelong skipper, Mark Bairstow, averaging 25 possessions a match. You see here, I thought he may have been able to hand pass that one to Billy Brownless, completely ignored him, and then I thought he may have been in trouble getting back onto his right foot. Unfortunately, he's got plenty of skill and was able to screw that one round his body, put it right through.
Cats fight back to within 2 points as we see Laser Vidovic against Damien Burke again at the centre bounce. Burke with the left hand to Robert Scott. Hinkley takes front position. Good mark. Oh, not paid. I thought it was almost worth a mark to Pekin then.
Free to Cummings.
And eventually it's a free kick. Cummings has lost his head guard. Chip pass finds Dean Gregg. It looked dangerous, St Kilda. In towards halfward, Lowe and Stoneham. Bit of talent amongst those two. Stoneham went without it. Lowe tried to tap it on. Hand pass to Gary Hocking was from Hughes. Burke, centre of the ground, Damien Burke. Bombs it in long towards the pocket. Bingham. Oh, he's reading the play well at full back. Didn't think he'd have the mobility to play that position. He's hurt behind the play as Newport gets it to Vidovic. Vidovic to the half-forward line. I wonder if he copped one down there. He doesn't look too good at full-back Bingham.
Well, he certainly copped one, Pete. He hand passed it away and then copped one from the Geelong player. I think it was Brownless.
Well, here's Robert Harvey in towards full forward. Allen trying to get onto his left boot. He does. But there's only one man waiting back there, and it's Trevor Poole.
He's in a bit of strife too, Bingham, being attended by the trainers and also the doctor going out to have a look at him.
He looks very groggy. In the meantime, Gary Hocking kicks to the outer side. Could have been a mark to Scott. He did well. Kicks the ball in play. Along the boundary line he goes and kicks out Brown, who is off. Yes, the umpire is called to play on, and he does. Back to Scott, who's made good ground. Spears the pass into Brownless. Not a mark according to the umpire.
Gee, it looked a mark, didn't it?
Umpire a fair way away from that one, Pete. When he blew the whistle.
Hard to tell. Might have been a bump ball almost. And Bingham back on his feet, so that's good news.
That's good. He's playing well, Bingham.
He has done a good job on Brownless.
Up he goes.
Looks like it's fired him up a bit too.
Certainly has.
And there's a man he wants to.
Oh! There's the quarter time siren. Probably came at a pretty good time. And the umpire takes the ball. And at quarter time, we have a real ball game on our hands. Hardly surprising. St Kilda 3-3, and they lead Geelong 3-1 at Kardinia Park. Kardinia Park, 2 points the difference in favour of the Saints. Gary Ablett 2 for Geelong, and Tim Allen 2 for the Sainters so far. Burke was named on the bench, started on the ball, and he still is there. Heffernan, he did start on the bench. Scott dragged off it. Ball spills free. Good tackle by Nathan Burke, or a steal actually, we'll put it down as. Gilbert McAdam, good to see him back in the Saints lineup today from left half forward. He gets around Beers. Centering kick from him, tries to find Lowe. Stoneham's in the road, gets well tackled, tapped out to Lowe, looks for the hand pass, going past is Harvey. Snapshot is good. Magnificent start for the Saints in the second quarter, just what Kenny Sheldon would have wanted. 4-3 to 3-1.
Yeah, certainly the other stat we saw at quarter time there was 5-2 the centre breaks, and again St Kilda winning it out of the middle. They've been very desperate there. Big Stewie Lowe. Good hand pass to the run of Robert Harvey. It's a great start by St Kilda.
Actually, Geelong, it was 5-2 out of the centre, Bernie.
5-2 Geelong's way,
it was
Pete.
the other way, yeah. Which was surprising when you looked at the stats. 8 points the margin. Saints looking good. Dean Gregg to the half-forward line. Dropped by Malakalis. Taken by Poole. Trevor Poole straightens up and kicks it long to the half-forward line. Russell Morris at the back. Thumps it away. He's got backup support from Cummings. He's got the job on Couch. Taking the ball for Geelong is Forsman to the pocket, and he found Darcy. Darcy now playing a full forward. Now he is a great kick, Tim Darcy, but he's kicking into the breeze there. Breeze a little bit left to right of screen and towards that pocket, also where Darcy's kicking from. Former fullback. The players congregate back in the square as Darcy bangs in a goal. Beautiful looking kick, just holds up in the breeze, and Russell Morris thumps it through for a behind. But a good game of football we're seeing here. 7 points the margin. There's Billy Brownless on the Geelong bench. He didn't look too happy coming off.
No, he's had 2 very poor weeks, Billy Brownless. Only 3 kicks last week, and he was kickless in that first quarter.
Knocked away by Bingham. Up towards centre wing now. Picked up by Bowie. Pekin overruns it. Opportunity to Scott. Runs in to kick it. Ball spills free. Pekin again. Knocks it out to Harvey, who's in magnificent form at the moment. McAdam, you'll have to be quick, Gilbert. He left the ball in the glue pot. Probably about the stickiest part of the ground there. It's otherwise in magnificent condition. And it will be a ball up. Modern 50.
Great to see McAdam back, isn't it?
It's been a while, Bernie.
Had about 40 possessions last week in the reserves. Had a magnificent game.
So a bounce, very spongy part of the Kardinia Park arena. Scott again. Hacks it out of the pack. Hinkley kicks from a standing start. Doesn't get too much distance with the kick. Rebound goes Couch's way. Gets skittled as he kicks. Ablett takes the mark in front of Danny Spud Frawley. Seen him do better kicks. Heffernan, the rookie, kicks at goal. Leaper was Darcy. No mark paid by the umpire, and we'll see a bounce right on the kickoff line. It's just on 22 minutes left before half-time. There's 2 points the difference at quarter time, 3-3 to 3-1. And the Saints have added a goal since then to Robert Harvey. Bingham goes at it. Tries to find Newport. Forsman in the road.
Could be a free kick.
Back to Pekin. Out of bounds.
I thought he might have been a bit lucky there, Pete. That handball over the back like that.
Might have been over the line.
Yep.
Yes, they have paid them like that. Heffernan taps down. Brown dispossessed quickly. Darcy couldn't do anything with it. Bairstow, a steal. Gee, that was almost a throw. Or did he try to bounce it? Brushes one tackle. Riccardi, he's sandwiched, and the Saints will get clear through Newport.
This is sheer desperation from St.Kilda. Great football. This is Vidovic. And they're working harder than Geelong at the moment. Lowe versus Stoneham. Stoneham thumps at the ground, but McAdam, oh, look at that. Good play. On to kick it. The chip pass to Lowe. They're looking for Stuart Lowe a little bit too much, I feel, at this stage. Hinkley off the side of the boot out. I think they're just overdoing it a little bit, Bernie.
Well, that short option was just... He was covered, actually, Stewie Lowe. Hinkley had him covered. And then Kenny Hinkley, a poor kick by him, wasn't it? Out of bounds on the full there.
Well, here's Nathan Burke to the pocket. Winmar waits underneath it and then races back after it. In the meantime, Stoneham takes it over the line. But again, it's down in St Kilda's forward zone. About 15 metres round to the behind post. Damien Burke thumps at the ground. McAdam with brilliance. Good play, McAdam. Oh, Allen went without it. Bairstow, Scott, and Geelong rebound. As Robert Scott, oh, he ran a long way, too far. No, the umpires let him get away with it.
Oh, holding the ball, surely, yes, it's been paid.
He's finally been pinged, but he definitely ran too far.
One word you've mentioned, Pete, and that's desperation. And that chasing there by St Kilda to put that pressure on Robert Scott was just fantastic stuff.
Yes, he nearly had the 100-yard dash there. This is Cummings. Not on those helmets down at Moorabbin, it looks like. Off the hands of Lowe, doesn't happen very often. Stoneham Not too many options available for him. The only one really, I guess, was the boundary line. He's found that and gained about 15 metres for his side. Boundary throw in right on 50. Allen and Burke. Hinckley. Have to go across goal. No. With the right foot. McGrath punches it away from Gregg. Inside 50 again. Danger here. But Bairstow can clear it.
Danger.
He's gone across goal. That's what I meant. Winmar. One balk, two balks. Spears it into the pocket and he's found Kickett. But that angle could be pretty severe.
That was a terrible mistake by the skipper, wasn't it, Peter? Just to go across goal like that.
Well, it was always going to be on, Bernie, wasn't it? Unless a mark was taken. It wasn't.
Well, I just cannot understand why a player would kick across goal.
He might pay the ultimate penalty.
And a very experienced player too, Mark Bairstow.
Dale Kickett's already kicked one behind. 15 metres out. Oh, that's how it bounds on the full. So Bairstow off the hook, as it were.
He breathes again, I think, Mark Bairstow, after that. He's really been let off.
Barry Stoner will bring the ball back into play. Oh, that's another bad kick. Well, we'll put it...
That's in the back.
Might have just been touched inside. There's going to be a free kick anyway. And it's going to be taken by Tim Peakin. On a lead is Winmar. Low. Snapshot. Not bad. Off the hands. Allen. Won't be a mark. It'll be a behind. So we'll put it down as another rush behind to the Saints this time. 4-4 to 3-2. Interesting game of football.
And St Kilda doing all the attacking at the moment. There's Riccardi at the back. Well done. Gets it to Couch. Couch goes outside. Tim McGrath, the dasher, to half forward. Heffernan, the flyer at the back. Then races after it again. He's got backup support from Ablett. Here's Ablett's opponent, Frawley, an experienced defender. He went to the line. And good defensive play, Danny Frawley.
Well, that's the difference, wasn't it? One end of the ground to the other. Bairstow kicking across goal, and we saw the desperation of Frawley there, just deliberately, no doubt, putting it out of bounds.
Well, there's Danny Frawley sidestepping. This is Cummings. Robert Harvey's been an excellent player. He transfers play, and that's good football because he can put it out in front of Bowie. Bowie races at it, gives it over the top to McAdam. Will it sit for him? Now it does. Gilbert McAdam straightens up, and a shocker. That is a terrible kick. No, he's got one in the back.
You'll get another kick, Pete.
Well, he actually, it was a poor kick before he actually got the push, really, wasn't it?
Well, there was no need to touch him, really, because he had kicked.
Let's have a look here. See if he gets that kick in first.
Kenny Hinckley.
He kicks it, and then the push in the back. No doubt about the free kick.
It didn't affect his kick, though, did it? He'd missed it.
Well, Gilbert McAdam, they could do with this, the Saints, because really they've controlled the game, and yet on the scoreboard they only lead by 8 points.
Yes.
And there's Kenny Sheldon. He'd be very happy with their endeavour. Gilbert McAdam, welcome back in the side as he kicks in a goal, and that's not all that much better as he puts it to the right for a behind.
Well, so many chances being wasted though by St Kilda. They've had the better of the play. And yet that kick from McAdam and the one before by Lockett, by Kickett, opportunities they should have made better of.
Stoneham kicks in. Burke the target. Burke slaps it down. Cummings. Burke. Devonport. The ground in some places, as I mentioned, heavier than it appears. Peakin. Kicks from a standing start. Oh, Allen, great mark in front. Now his best ever goal effort in AFL is 3 goals. He has a chance to level that because he's kicked 2 already. Tim Allen.
He kicked 3 in the first game of the year, Peter.
Against Carlton. According to the Saints stats last year. And against Essendon this year as well. So he's done that again. So he's done it 3 times. 3 goals to Allen. Tim Allen gets 3, the leading goal scorer in the match, and the Saints go further ahead.
Let's have a look at that mark again. Devonport just getting into a little bit of strife there. The ground giving away underneath him. A bit of a suspect hand pass over the top to Tim Peakin. Ball dropping a little bit short. And Tim Allen, fairly athletic. He can play a bit. Big boy, 192 centimetres, and they couldn't get the punch away, the Geelong defenders.
A worried looking Malcolm Blight. as Gary Hocking crashes his way through. Riccardi, brilliant pickup on the right foot, hooks it back. Ablett, oh, free kick, Ablett. Oh, no. Oh, that should have been a free kick.
Yes,
all over him. He can't believe it, Gary Ablett. He looks back at the umpire in disgust. Devonport chips it to centre wing. McAdam has it thumped away, but oh boy, let's have a look at this.
Oh, look at the holding.
Look at that holding,
look at the holding.
Round the head, and no free kick for that.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
In front of goal, of course.
Yes, we made that point earlier. Bit of aerial ping pong at the moment. It goes Geelong's way. Hocking, Devonport, good tackle, and Hinkley picks out his teammate down there, and Darren Forsman will have to be quick. Ablett behind this time. Frawley. Now there is a whistle here. It's going St.Kilda's way. So
well, shouldn't that have been a free to Frawley as well, Bernie?
Well, I think that was the evener-upper, wasn't it, Pete? Because it looked like
straight in the back.
Obvious pushing the back to Danny Frawley against Ablett.
Unbelievable.
It's not the number of free kicks, gentlemen, is it? It's where you get them. Vidovic in front. Taps down. Riccardi over the top. Hocking. A nice dummy. Looks for Scott and takes the mark.
Good use of the body by Robert Scott. Just held Nathan Burke out. Of course, had the advantage of being behind on that occasion. And the player in front, just that little nudge is enough to put him off balance.
So Robert Scott within kicking distance. And the Cats needing a goal at the moment, trailing 3-2 to 5-5, a difference of 15 points. And again, he's missed to the right. He sneaked it in for only a behind. So it makes the difference 14 points now. That's Robert Scott's first score of the afternoon, 1 point.
Has been a good year for Scott, though, Peter, representing Victoria. He's kicked 23 goals for the season. He only played one game in 91, and he's played every game for Geelong here in 92.
Russell Morris, who's done well so far, looks for and finds Shanahan in the right back pocket. And the Saints away again. Cummings. It's Burke, actually. These two guys in the helmets. Out of bounds in front of Dale Kickett. And his opponent down there, Spiro Malakalis. Tim McGrath with them as well. Boundary throw in just next to the interchange area centre wing.
5-5 plays 3-3, and St Kilda doing very well. Vidovic took it out of the ruck too easily to the half-forward line, low, thumped away by Stoneham. There's Shanahan hooking it in front of goal. Danger here for Geelong as it's thumped down towards Kickett. Quick hand pass to Allen, the danger man. He's kicked 3 already. Oh, well done by Allen. Kickett hooks it back to the pocket. Winmar has marked. Now he'll probably try and run out to the right here. I wouldn't mind betting on that, Bernie.
No, I think he'll come around. He'll sneak around for sure.
There he is, right on the boundary line, this brilliant player from Western Australia originally, Nicky Winmar. Now let's see if he sneaks out and opens up the goals. Yes, out he goes, hooks it, and a shocker. And that is out of bounds on the other side of the ground by about 20 metres. In fact, make that 30.
That's twice he's missed everything, Pete. In that first quarter, he had the shot from the left-hand forward pocket and missed everything. So 2 out of bounds on the full Nicky Winmar.
So no score yet. Stephen Handley's kick doesn't get too much distance with it. Vidovic, good mark. So he'll put the Saints back into attack. Too far out to score, about a kick and a half from goal. Lazar Vidovic, formerly of North Melbourne. Centering kick from him. Winmar, the fly from behind. Couldn't take it. Looking for a holding the ball decision. Free kicks on the forward line, pretty hard to get, as we saw at the other end of the ground, and Gary Ablett would agree with that.
Wow, that looked like holding the ball too, didn't it?
Hughes the last to get up. Had 20 players around this bounce. Oh, Handley would have got a free kick. He was grabbed. Stoneham, is it going to be the advantage rule? Yes, it is. Not the advantage, but the free kick. Hughes from Handley. Hinkley. Poole at right half back. Up and under kick to the advantage of Harvey. And Harvey takes the mark at left centre wing for St Kilda. McAdam from a standing start. Good kick distance-wise. Kickett, elusive, dangerous. Devonport can kick goals. Snapshot, that is brilliant, and that is a goal. So Craig Devonport gets his first, and the Saints go further ahead, 6-5 to 3-3 at Kardinia Park.
Yes, well, I think Malcolm Blight would be a very worried man at this stage. St Kilda has kicked 3 goals in this second quarter, and Geelong yet to kick a major. A kicker who's been very busy on that forward line, feeding that out to a very highly skilled player in Craig Devonport, and he had no trouble curling that one back.
Well, 20 points the margin. The Saints doing it well as Merriman goes towards the half-forward line. Shanahan out in front of Scott. Good defensive play. They're doing it well down there. And you see Craig Devonport taking the ball over the line. He kicked that last goal. But really, they've been far more desperate than Geelong, and they look far more dangerous. But Burke thumping at the ground. Forsman trying to get onto his left foot and set it up for someone on the half-forward line. Here's Bairstow. Around the corner goes Merriman to the pocket. Cummings in front. Did it well. Here's Ablett. Trying to hook it back, but he's put it out on the full. But Bernie, they might be forced, robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they might be forced to move Stoneham to the forward lines. We see Billy Brownless about to come back on.
Well, Stoneham has done a good job as Bowie comes off to be replaced by Fletcher. The thing is, Stewie Lowe's only taken 2 marks today, so Stoneham has done a good job there.
And Fletcher might get a touch here, having just come back on. He won't. Over the boundary line.
The reason I say that, though, Bernie, I mean, they're not playing well at the moment. They might be forced to do it.
No, well, Billy Brownless back on. He needs to do something to lift his game and help his side out, because he's just not doing enough on that forward line.
Oh, Ablett very quick onto Hocking. Centering kick from him. No one home. That's a goal.
Free kick.
As it was touched.
A goal anyway.
It is. Well, what an amazing passage of play. What an amazing way to get one. 4-3 to 6-5. And the Cats will take it.
Yes, the free kick would have been paid anyway to Robert Scott. Right in the goal square. As you suggested, Peter McKenna. Stoneham being moved to centre half forward. And Billy Brownless, who hasn't been able to get a kick on that forward line, now picking up Stewie Lowe.
Well, I think they've been forced into it. As I said, they're getting no drive at half forward, Geelong. As we go back to the centre, Burke, Merriman. Now it's Fletcher, former Geelong player himself. Oh, they're pretty tough in the scrums there. Bairstow to the half forward line. Robert Scott, no mark. Sock it off the ground. Couch. Here's Stoneham. Kicked away by Harvey. Tim McGrath. Ablett. Gary Ablett, will he run around? Yes, he will. He hooks it back in front of goal. Russell Morris, but in the meantime, running too far, did he pay?
Oh, gee. What about Robert Scott's effort order?
Well, I think that's what he signalled. Running too far. Well, there's Frawley. Out wide. Harvey, gee, he knows how to make space. Robert Harvey to the half-forward line. Greg and Lowe. And the mark taken by Dean Gregg, an underrated player. Gregg to half-forward. Oh, could have been a free kick against McAdam then. Winmar brilliantly. Back to McAdam. Oh, he's missed an absolute soda from 20 metres.
Oh, that is disappointing.
They should be 5 in front.
He's missed 2 in this quarter, Gilbert McAdam, and just took that far too easily, Peter, didn't he?
Tried to toe poke it instead of kicking it hard.
Brownless kicks in. Burke in front. No mark. Hinkley. Almost a spiral punt up towards midfield. Punched down by Allen. Hocking again. This time to Buse, who just about gets legged and just about gets out of trouble. Couch runs with the flow of the ball. Forsman gets it back to him with a little tap. Opens it up with a hand pass. Riccardi will have to be quick. He is quick. Scott marks in front. So Robert Scott, surely from here, will be able to bring Geelong a little bit closer. He's kicked 1 behind so far. Good speed by Riccardi, Bernie.
He's got plenty of pace, Riccardi. A strange sort of a pass off the boot, though, Peter, wasn't it?
He'll take it.
It spun very strangely.
20 metres out, Robert Scott gets the goal. Scott's tally 1-1. Geelong come closer. 5-3 now to the Saints. 6-6. 9 points the difference.
It's only 9 points now to St Kilda, but if you take into account the 4 shots they've had at goal, the kick missed an easy shot, Winmar, and also 2 shots missed by Gilbert McAdam in this quarter. St Kilda could have been 4 or 5 goals in front and doing it easily, but they must make the most of their opportunities on that forward line.
9 points the margin, and I think that flatters the Cats a bit, but here's Adrian Fletcher. Oh, booming torpedo punt kick, one-on-one contest. Billy Brownless now picking up Stewie Lowe, and over the line it goes deep in that forward pocket, but one wonders if Tony Lockett was playing Bernie, whether they would be 4 or 5 in front, because the ball's been down on that forward line a lot. Allen versus Handley. Handley taps it down. Here's Brownless, Merriman, Hinkley. Kenny Hinkley, almost brought down as he kicked it. Around the boundary line he goes. The race is on. Stoneham ran straight at Pekin and missed him. So it's on centre wing. It'll be a throw-in. Burke versus Vidovic. I suppose honours fairly even. Burke with a bit of a cut above that right eye. Vidovic. The backhanded punch was a good one. Gary Hocking. Mark Bairstow. Cummings at the back. Look at the pace of Stoneham. Cummings still going. Stoneham again. Now Riccardi. It was Nathan Burke, not Cummings, I mentioned a moment ago. Shanahan. Players pounce in on top of it. There will be a... No, it's not a bounce. Play on as Bingham. There's Cummings. Now Fletcher. Now Morris. Good tackle. Lost in the tackle. Now Robert Harvey. Bingham went without it. Forsman. Couch. Going round in circles. Forsman again straightens up on the left foot, and Darren Forsman has kicked it behind.
Well, the crowd not too happy with a couple of these umpiring decisions, and I think rightly so on that occasion, Pete, because Russell Morris was caught red hot after St Kilda got themselves into trouble running around in circles. And I think they're entitled to pay a free kick if a player is caught red hot like that.
They're not paying holding the ball, are they?
No, not at all.
8 points the difference. Brilliant kick by Russell Morris. Pekin was the flyer from the back. McGrath pushes it forward. Hughes taken high. Surely a free kick this time. And Tim Pekin will have to bring it back, otherwise he'll be penalised 50 metres.
Get 50.
He better hand it over very quickly.
Andy Hughes with the free kick. Just left of half forward. Probably not quite that far down the ground. Not a long kick. 2 St Kilda players there. And the one at the back is Bingham, is it? Yes. Over it goes to Morris. There's one of St Kilda's best in the first quarter. Kicks from inside the 50-metre line. And another brilliant kick. Stewie Lowe gets the better of Brownless. Lowe at left centre wing. Obviously too far out to score. He'll be looking for Winmar and finds him marking in front of Trevor Poole. 55 metres from goal. But virtually into this wind from that side of the ground. It's only a light northerly. Gee, it's a good kick, but again that wind has just taken it through to the far side for one behind. Kicked by Nicky Winmar, his first score of the afternoon. 6-7, the Saints leading Geelong 5-4 at Kardinia Park. Handley will kick in. Kicks to the member stand side. Gary Hocking marked in front of Harvey and plays on pretty quickly. One-on-one duel at the wing. Forsman has it knocked away by Devonport, and it's out of bounds. So a throw-in to take place close to the centre wing position. 4 minutes and a half. 4.5 minutes before half-time.
St Kilda by 9 points. Bairstow, McGrath. Well played by the half-back. Stoneham. A free kick given away against Stoneham. Russell Morris, good play to get in front, Bertie.
Yes, he's done all right across that half-back line. Been a good player for St Kilda since he transferred from Hawthorn.
Russell Morris to the half-forward line. Vidovic at the back as the flyer. Now another free kick found in that tack. And it will go Geelong's way. And looks like it's going to Billy Brownless. It is. Playing in defence.
And Billy's first kick for the afternoon.
And it's a good kick to the half-forward line. Stoneham should mark this. No, he's dropped it. Gary Hocking swoops on it. On the left foot goes Hocking. Kicks in towards goal. It floats back and touched through by Jamie Shanahan. So the Cats trying to mount something. Hocking starting to come right into the play as Burke having some attention. 8 points the margin. Saints in front.
Geelong, I sort of feel, slowly getting back into this match. Not that they were ever really out of it, but St Kilda had a lot of the ball. Merriman goes over. Oh, brilliant steal there by Pekin. McGrath takes him on. Fletcher with Couch. Long hand pass intended for Newport. Ball sits rather nicely for him. He gets around views. Century kick from him. And he's found Devonport, who likes kicking a goal. 55 metres out. Will he get one with this kick? Yes, he will. Great shot for goal. His second. So Craig Devonport, that's what Geelong didn't need, kicks his second goal. 7-7 to 5-5.
Yes, again, the little thing's very important. Tim Pekin getting a hand to a hand pass there from a Geelong player, just setting that up. Fletcher coming off again for St Kilda as Brett Bowie replaces him. And here's that kick, second goal to Devonport for the term, and McAdam, well done. He didn't touch it. He knew it was about to go through without his assistance.
2 goals to the St Kilda number 8. Now someone has cringed.
Too many players in the centre square.
Yes, too many players, and St Kilda it was. Oh, good mark, courageous mark, Robert Harvey. He's having another great game. 8 and 6, 9 and 6 in fact. So 15 possessions. And that was Nathan Burke getting it back to Steve Newport. Oh, Pekin back with the flight, almost took the mark. McGrath again. Well played, Tim McGrath to the half-forward line. Stoneham versus Morris. Strength by Stoneham. They need him firing. The kick to half-forward. Darcy out in front of Bingham. Runs away from Bingham. Hooks it back in towards goal. Robert Scott can't trap it. It's all Geelong. Tapped on. Couch to Gary Hocking. And Gary Hocking has socketed through for a behind to the Cats. 5-6. Plays 7-7 as the time clock shows just over 2 minutes of play left in the second quarter.
1-1, Gary Hocking's tally for the afternoon. Just over 2 minutes left in the half. Forsman in front. Vidovic from behind. Like a basketball shot. Burke, Ablett, Vidovic. McGrath, a little bit late down there on Morris. It comes up to Dean Gregg, formerly from Camberwell. Now McAdam has got the mark. Yes, he has. Good effort.
There's not a great kick there from Dean Gregg either. He didn't spin like a drop punt, Pete. He tried the drop punt and just floated it down. Didn't get it onto the boot correctly. But McAdam, he's an exciting player. First game for the year for Gilbert McAdam, and a very important player for the Saints.
2 behinds he's kicked so far as Robert Scott comes to the interchange area. Be replaced by Martin Heffernan. McAdam this time for a goal. No. So 3 behinds kicked by Gilbert McAdam today.
Well, on every occasion he's missed to the right side too, Peter. So maybe just not lining the goals up correctly, swinging out slightly to that right-hand side, and the ball following him out there.
14 points the difference again. Burke in front from the kick out by Brownless, knocked down by Vidovic. Malakalis. Burke. It's Nathan Burke. Forsman. A knock on. Up to Cummings. You'll have to be quick, away from Couch, and the pass is effective to Devonport. This is just about where he kicked the last goal from, so you rate him a chance if he goes for it.
It was a great kick for goal, Craig Devonport, Pete.
2 so far. 55 metres out. Distance could be a problem here. Off the hands. Low! That's a goal! There's Stewie Lowe. He's been watching the Olyroos, I think. 8-8 to 5-6.
Stewie Lowe kicks his second goal.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
I thought the poor defence by Geelong. Of course, the play here is to thump it through the other way. I think it may have been attempted by Handley, but Brownless knocked it back into play. And good play by Stewie Lowe, just getting the boot to that very quickly. But Brownless, it should have been thumped through for a defensive behind.
20 points the margin approaching half-time. A very handy lead this to the Saints. Oh, he's lucky to get that.
He did. He ducked, didn't he, Peter?
He ducked and took a dive, Mark Bairstow. He's very lucky to get that free kick. They have just over 20 seconds of play in which to score a goal before half-time. It'd be a handy one if they could. Bairstow to the half-forward line. Stoneham from the side. Thump back. This is Spiro Malakalis. Ablett caught. Held to him, and good umpiring decision. That one had to be a bounce. As the time clock ticks down, there will not be another score. There's the siren to end a very good first half of football by St Kilda. They lead 8-8 to 5-6, but Bernie, it's been a committed effort by the Saints.
Oh, totally committed. I think they've come out here really fired up, St Kilda. And Kenny Sheldon would be very pleased with that first half, even though they did waste a number of opportunities. McAdam kicked 3 behinds in that quarter. He hasn't kicked a goal. Winmar missed an easy shot. And on a few occasions they've had the ball down there. They've worked hard for it. Disappointing for the players further upfield that the forwards do miss these sort of shots, but they do hold a 20-point advantage at half-time.
8-8 to 5-6 at Kardinia Park.
It's been pretty quiet, and Newport's done a few good things himself.
Second half from Kardinia Park, 20 points the difference in favour of St Kilda. The Cats need to get that cat attack going if they're going to get back into this match. Now towards right half forward, Malakalis and Kickett. Malakalis wins that 2-out duel. Kick is a high one, and he travels about 25 metres, hocking at the fall of the ball. Breaks one tackle, but only just. Back to Malakalis, who gets buried in the tackle by Bowie. Pekin. Kickett again, gets ridden into the ground, pushing the back or holding the ball. Or is it play on?
Free kick to St Kilda.
Covered everything there, I think.
Wasn't a good hand pass from Tim Pekin, putting Kickett under pressure.
Dale Kickett chips it in short. Dean Gregg takes the mark, gives it back to that same player. A real Jimmy Cracker type kick, that one. Newport, Ablett and Frawley. Frawley looks for options, tried to find Harvey, did so. Bowie gets met solidly by McGrath. Riccardi, a quick kick. That covers plenty of distance up towards midfield. Russell Morris could have been paid that mark. The umpire says no. Stoneham.
Tagged by Steve Newport, and he's been pretty quiet, and Newport's done a few good things himself.
Second half from Kardinia Park, 20 points the difference in favour of St Kilda. The Cats need to get that cat attack going if they're going to get back into this match. Now towards right half forward, Malakalis and Kickett. Malakalis wins that 2-out duel. Kick is a high one, and he travels about 25 metres, hocking at the fall of the ball. Breaks one tackle, but only just. Back to Malakalis, who gets buried in the tackle by Bowie. Pekin. Kickett again, gets ridden into the ground, pushing the back or holding the ball. Or is it play on?
Free kick to St Kilda.
Covered everything there, I think.
Wasn't a good hand pass from Tim Pekin, putting Kickett under pressure.
Dale Kickett chips it in short. Dean Gregg takes the mark, gives it back to that same player. A real Jimmy Cracker type kick, that one. Newport, Ablett and Frawley. Frawley looks for options, tried to find Harvey, did so. Bowie gets met solidly by McGrath. Riccardi, a quick kick. That covers plenty of distance up towards midfield. Russell Morris could have been paid that mark. The umpire says no. Stoneham kicks from a standing start and a high kick up towards the 50-metre line. A marking contest. 4's men in front. Couch does the solid work. Long hand pass. Riccardi and Burke. And the ball hits the deck again. Merriman can't get clear. Ball hacked out of mid-air. It was kicked by Heffernan, I think, and through for one behind, was it? Yes. A little bit cool on the bench in the shadows now. 5-7 to 8-8. So the difference now 19 points as Russell Morris prepares to kick in again. Paul Brown having a stint there as well with Scott.
Yes, well, he's been very quiet, hasn't he, Paul Brown?
Well, he
hasn't had a kick today again, and when you got Brown and Brownless down, you're losing a lot of firepower up on that forward line for Geelong.
He's a young player, Paul Brown. He's got a lot of talent, and young players often go through those little patches. Here's Heffernan talking about young players. Back towards the half-forward line, Ablett versus Frawley. That's a terrific contest. Oh, Bairstow now, did he cop that high? He made sure the umpire saw it. As he went to the ground, he copped one across the head. Mark Bairstow, vital player for Geelong. Not out of this by a long shot. Playing on their home ground, they're only 19 points behind. The kick down towards half-forward. St Kilda very, very desperate.
Oh, he could be.
I
I thought he was going to be in trouble there, Pete. I thought he was in trouble.
Bertie, but that's the first one they've played for the whole game.
The ball was underneath him for a long time, Shanahan, and I thought that he could have been in strife even before the umpire had paid that, because he dragged it underneath him, and that is always a bad thing to do. Look, it's underneath him.
Now, have a look.
Drags it back again. You watch this. Back again. Yes, and that is always the first thing the umpire looks at.
He's trying to get it out there.
Well,
I think he's very stiff the way the umpires have been umpiring today. They haven't been playing holding the ball at all.
I don't agree with you, Pete. I think it was an obvious free kick.
Oh, there's the kick by Stoneham, and he's goal.
Barry Stoneham's first score of the afternoon, and Geelong's 6th goal, 6-7 to 8-8.
I know you're shaking your head about that one, Pete, but the umpire is looking for the player that dives on the ball. He did dive on the ball. There he goes. Drags it back underneath him.
Then
caught underneath him. It's still underneath him.
He's trying to hit it out.
Well, the player was holding the Guernsey. Stoneham did the right thing. He held the Guernsey, and the ball was still trapped underneath him for a long time.
That's fair enough if it's consistent right throughout the game. That's the whole point. You've got to play them consistently.
Back into the centre, 43 to 56. Barry Stoneham getting the goal, and the Cats swing into attack again. Stoneham again after Hocking's kick was partially smothered. Morris will look for options, and he's found Pekin. Pekin onto Winmar at right centre wing. He's got Newport running with him. I think he's going to go further downfield. Nicky Winmar, a brilliant run. McGrath finally runs at him, and after he'd covered about 50 metres, Vidovic on his own. Oh, poor defence, Pete, surely.
Yes, Brownless again. He gave Vidovic a lot of space, and Billy's had a horror couple of weeks. There he is, Billy Brownless on screen, but Vidovic, as we see this mark again, a couple of paces there. Billy just stayed off him, and Vidovic a good strong mark.
Lazar Vidovic 15 metres out and gets the goal. So a very quick reply by the Saints. Vidovic gets his first, and Kilda's 9th. It's 9-8 to 6-7.
Yes, Vidovic, actually that's his first ever goal in AFL football. Vidovic playing in his 18th senior game. Let's have a look at Nicky Winmar.
What a superb
created
run.
a lot of space along that outer wing. He was the player that initially spoilt that kick from Hocking when they won the ball out of the centre, Geelong. And then he made a bit of space for himself and drove the ball. Beautiful 50-metre kick to Vidovic.
Again, the margin is 19 points in favour of the Saints, so a quick reply. Burke versus Vidovic. Burke won that one, hits it wide. Nathan Burke to Winmar. McAdam's got a couple to beat here. Oh, Hinkley grabbed McAdam, I feel. He did on centre wing, and Poole was off and running, so not good play by Kenny Hinkley. McAdam's found a loose man in Pekin. Now, where's Big Low? Here he is, Brownless in front. Punched at the back, I should say. Brownless punches it away. Hocking gives it to Handley. And Steve Handley to the half-forward line. Stoneham versus Russell Morris. A bad bounce for Stoneham. It was unlucky. Cummings. Russell Morris again. That's the way to play it. The long kick, the low. Great play, Russell Morris.
Beautiful attacking football, wasn't it, from the half-back? Centre half-back, Russell Morris, assisted by that bounce. Stoneham was in front. He made the running. And just the bounce favouring Russell Morris. He received the hand pass back again. And Stewie Lowe, only his 4th mark taken for the day. He's been a bit quiet today, Stewie Lowe.
And having plenty to say was Russell Morris to Barry Stoneham, but he was unlucky. He got a cruel bounce.
Yeah, certainly.
As he was doing everything right. Now, Stewie Lowe, his kicking has improved out of sight. He's kicked 2 goals today. With Lockett out, Lockett resting on the big broad shoulders of Stewie Lowe as he kicks from 35 metres, stabs it in, and he has goal.
3 goals won for Stewie Lowe this afternoon. Saints kicked 2 in a row, 10-8 now to 6-7.
There's big Stewie Lowe, an important player in this St.Kilda side. Played a magnificent game in the State of Origin match for Victoria against WA. And Russell Morris attacking play from the half-back line, getting away there from Stoneham. Feeding a hand pass out, receiving again. And Billy Brownless, well, he's had a horror day again. Cannot get a touch, forward line or back line.
10-8 to 6-7. Vidovic. Ball bounces in front of him. It's Bowie. And he gets ridden into the ground by Couch. It's a Geelong ball. A quick kick. Comes out towards centre wing position. Trevor Poole's kick. Down towards right half forward. Stoneham, 2 grabs, has taken the mark. Barry Stoneham maybe too far out to score, and in a sense realising that, Darcy chips in to take the mark. Was that intended, Bernie? Was that a pass or?
No, I don't think the pass. He just went long in the end. He saw that the goal face was open because a couple of players had made the leads. Ablett was one, and Forsman was the other. Both players had led, and there was a bit of room up on that forward line. Stoneham went long, and Darcy read it well, getting back there, taking that chest mark.
Only 3 kicks so far today for Tim Darcy. Hasn't scored. Any score would be valuable. He should be able to get the goal from only 15 metres out. The angle shouldn't be a problem. It isn't. It's a goal. Darcy's first, and it came at a very handy time for the Cats. They trail 7-7 to St Kilda's 10-8.
It was a badly needed goal by Geelong. Tim Darcy, who spent a fair bit of time in his career playing at full back, but has played at both ends of the ground. He read it pretty well there, just getting away from Tim Pekin. Gary Ablett making a lead, then doubling back. And Stoneham, I think, saw the goal face open and thought, well, maybe he was a chance of kicking it himself.
So again, the margin 19 points. Certainly they're within striking distance. They don't deserve to be Geelong. But a couple of quick goals and things could change. There's Vidovic with the left hand. Punches it about 25 metres. Not further afield by Tickett. Allen versus Hanley.
Could have been a free kick there to Hanley.
Yes, it could have been too. Here's Allen trying to pick it up and get onto his left foot. No, a wild hand pass goes to Couch. Couch to the centre of the ground. Stoneham. He needs some more support down there at half forward. Shanahan goes straight to the line and puts it over. Good defensive play. It's at half forward for the Cats. There he is, Jamie Shanahan, formerly at Fitzroy. Bernie.
He spent a bit of time there, went back to Hobart, and then was picked up by St Kilda in the draft.
Well, here's a chance as we see Merriman bring it in towards the pocket. Oh, Ablett did that well, but it's a goal. Goal to Merriman. The Cats fight back. That's his first. And look at the scoreboard now, 10-8 to 8-7.
Well, if they lose this game, St Kilda, they've only got themselves to blame because so many opportunities in that second quarter. There could have been 8 goals in front at half-time. Now they find themselves only 13 points up, and Geelong kicking the last 2 goals. A bit of momentum, and the crowd right behind Geelong's side.
So the Cats back in the hunt, 55 now to 68, under 18 minutes left in the third quarter, and they swing into attack again up towards their half-forward line. Winmar and Hocking. Shanahan needs support, goes long with the kick up towards midfield. McAdam, a quick hand pass, might have almost been too quick for Brett Bowie. Shepherded by Peakett, back to McAdam. McAdam from the right half forward flank, lovely pass, Stewart low on the end of it, marks just on 50.
It was McAdam, very important, doing a good job, so creative in this St Kilda side. Of course, he won the McGarry medal back in '89, playing for Central Districts in South Australia.
Kick number 9 for Stewie Lowe. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 so far. 49 metres out. And again the ball drifting to the right-hand side at that end, assisted by this northerly breeze, taking his tally to 3 goals, 2. 69 to 55. Handley will kick the ball back into play. Favours the outer side. Pass is on, intended for McGrath, pursued by Gregg. And McGrath, you would have to say, deliberate out of bounds. And Gregg will get the free kick.
Well, he ran into trouble there, McGrath, up against the boundary line. He knew he had nowhere to go.
Winmar with Handley. Poole will give the Cats some support, and they need it down there on the back line. Cummings, a good effort to trap the ball. McGrath into his back, and it's all tied up. We'll see a bounce right on the boundary line.
Half forward for the Saints. There's Tim McGrath, discarded by North Melbourne, and a welcome addition at Geelong. He's been an excellent player for them this year. Burke thumps it further afield. Here's Peakett. Great workhorse, Tim Peakett, in towards half forward. Low, yes, great marks. Great Stuart Low, 15 metres out from goal.
Well, we're watching the best mark in the competition there, yes, in Stewie Lowe. There's no doubt about that. One of the best ever. We can see he's being held by the Guernsey, by Bill Brownless. That is a great effort to take that grab. He's taken 7 marks now for the day.
And we thought he was fairly quiet. Well, he's going for goal number 4, Bernie, so he's taking over where Tony Lockett left off. Stewie Lowe from directly in front, kicks at goal and has goal. 4 goals to the big centre half for the Cats. The Saints supporters very happy. 11-9 to 8-7.
Yes, and back to that 20-point margin. The margin the same now as it was at half-time. Let's have a look at that mark again. He was being held by the Guernsey, by Brownless, now playing at full-back. Tim Pekin, who has been a good player. Peter McKenna mentioned that. There he is, grabbing the Guernsey, trying to drag him backwards, and just making a desperate lunge on the second attempt.
Stewie Lowe's now kicked 4 goals, 2, and once again the difference 20 points, which is what we had at half-time. So the Cats not making any progress. Bowie taken down to the tackle. Cummings likewise. Merriman left foots it up towards the 50-metre line. A marking contest out there. Forsman dispossessed. He might get a second chance here after Hocking goes down, but a free kick is going St Kilda's way.
It did appear to spill out in the tackle, that one, Pete, so a strange decision that. Maybe he thought he made no attempt to get rid of it.
Devonport from half-back. He kicked a couple of goals himself this afternoon. Kick it late on the scene. Bowie tries to trap it. Geelong supporters look for a free kick. It's going the other way.
Well, there again, Pete, I thought he ducked his head when he knew the tackle was about to be applied.
I agree, Bernie.
Bowie picks out a man in Cummings. Cummings from the circle. Lowe and Handley. And Lowe has got clear. Can he make it 5? He can't, not with that kick, and again missing to the right-hand side. He's kicked 4 goals, 3 now, Stewie Lowe.
He should have passed that to Tim Allen then.
Yeah, it looked obvious, didn't it? Tim Allen about 20-25 metres clear. Stewie just had to pop it over the top.
Exactly, and Tim Allen let him know it too, I think. The kick to the half-back line. Nathan Burke, the flyer. Damien Burke. High floating kick. Oh, bad bounce from McGrath, but it comes back to the youngster. There's Stoneham going without it. Ablett knocks it on, and in the meantime, top one around the shoulder. So it'll be a free kick to Gary Ablett. And Russell Morris and Barry Stoneham, they don't like each other. And in the meantime, Dean Gregg runs past the ball, and Peter Carey has to give it back to Ablett. Will he go the big torpedo punt or the drop punt? Let's have a look. He's out on centre wing. He's going to torp. Bit of a wobbly one to the half-forward line. They need someone to spark them. Andrew Hughes from 50 metres. An open goal. Hughes kicks. Was that touch?
Oh,
it was. Great play, Devonport.
Great effort, Devonport. He saw the danger and immediately raced back there.
Craig Devonport doing good work at both ends of the ground, and still the difference 20 points. Cummings will have to duck back. Sorry about borrowing the phrase, Pete. And takes the mark right on 50. So the Saints are going to run it out of defence. Bowie will kick to centre wing. Marking contest out there. Those two protagonists. No love lost for each other. Stoneham flicks the hand pass back away from his opponent Russell Morris. And we'll see a throw in right in the middle of the interchange area on centre wing. 13.5 minutes left in the term. Hocking overruns it. Gregg, a fresh air shot. He might have almost been taken high. Quick kick by Riccardi. And the bounce favours the Cats. Maybe they can mount something here. Darcy's hand pass, not a good one. Dean Gregg eventually from midfield. Winmar overruns the ball. Brownless. He's got the Bronx cheer there, Billy. Poole and McAdam. And the ball beating both of those players over the boundary line on the other side now. And we'll see a throw in.
Andrew Hughes went for that ball one-handed. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets ripped off for that.
Oh, gee, he should have grabbed that 2 hands. Make sure of it, Pete, eh? In tight circumstances, no fancy stuff.
Burke with Allen. Buse. Good tackle, McAdam. Put pressure on his opponent. Couch to Bairstow. Bairstow's high kick travels only about 35 metres. Marking contest at midfield. Frawley to Pekin. Pekin down to half forward. Vidovic did it well, the big fellow. Bowie again up towards full forward. Low. A couple of chances and a couple of grabs. Kick it, spins out. Right foot snap. That's not bad. We'll have to wait on the goal umpire for that. It's a goal. He's got it. And a ripper goal for St Kilda. They're 12-10 to 8-8.
Yes, and they've extended that half-time lead now, St Kilda. A great goal there by Kickett. Rather controversial pickup in that March draft. But he has got plenty of ability, there's no doubting that. And we see an excellent snapshot at goal around the corner from Derry Kickett. Just an easier one in that second quarter, but that one a bonus, a real bonus. Dale Kickett, I'm sorry.
Well, the Saints able to match anything Geelong can produce at the moment. There's Burke with the left hand. Geelong need 2 or 3 quick ones. Oh, Winmar. They're working a lot harder, St Kilda. Allen, was that a free kick given away by Billy Brownless? No. Brownless, good hand pass. Finds McGrath, who's trying very, very hard. Tim McGrath to the half-forward line. Devonport waits at the back. Here's the danger man, Ablett. He's got no one to give it to. Now he has. He chips it in short. No mark down there. Forsman a chance if he can get onto that left foot of his. Now he's got the chance from 50. Hooks it to the pocket. Running back. Oh, Gary Hocking. Oh, that was a very lacklustre effort. Gary Hocking, he just sort of wandered back after it. I thought he should have marked that.
Well, it wasn't a good kick, really. The kick should have been a lot better and placed at much better advantage for Hocking. I thought the kick was very poor.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon he could have got to that mark. He let it bounce. There's Heffernan. Buse, straight up in the air. Chance for Buse again as he kicks. And Andrew Buse has goal. Excellent goal for the little rover. And that might get them firing. As he stepped that one through. 9-8 plays 12-10. The Saints in front.
Well, he had 2 goes at it, Andrew Buse. Of course, one of the players who played in that interstate clash on Tuesday night. There he goes, no one. They just all stood around and watched that, Pete. All the St Kilda defenders. They needed someone there, a defender, to just get up and thump it. And made it easy for Buse, and he butted up well and kicked it on the second attempt.
So Busey gets his first goal. He's kicked 1-1 so far. Again, the difference is 20 points, which is what it was at half-time. No free kick. Winmar. It's Newport. Kicks it out wide. Allen and Brownless. Brownless getting the front position. Malakalis. Defensive 50-metre line. Hocking. Marking on left centre wing. The player going past is Tim McGrath. Probably Geelong's most consistent player this afternoon. Made a good contribution. And out the back is Couch. Stoneham runs into Morris and then runs into Devonport.
And that should be a free kick to St Kilda against Stoneham. It should be paid, and it has been.
And Russell Morris will get the last word.
Yes, no doubt about that. Silly play by Stoneham. He was caught. He tried to fend off the player, and then he pushed him in the face.
So Craig Devonport, who's kicked a couple of goals for the Saints today, goes back to take the free kick right on the boundary line, out of side, underneath the scoreboard. And those stats are pretty impressive, aren't they? Up the boundary line with the kick. Frawley. Harvey. Bowie. Right on the boundary line. Good shepherd from Pekin. As he kicks long up towards McAdam. One hand to it. Kick it, nearly took it. Oh. He's still got time, McAdam. He's kicked 3 behind so far. Allen in the square. Rushed through, 1 behind. Very nearly a mark.
Oh, it should have been a mark there, Pete, shouldn't it?
A
day like this.
You mean it should have been paid? Or?
No, it shouldn't have been paid. He should have really snavelled that one, Tim Allen. Brownless gave him so much space there. He gained about 6 or 7 metres again.
Yes, he had his name written all over. Look at that kick to the centre of the ground. Thumped by Vidovic. Geelong, just nothing happening for them at the moment. They're leaving it to individual efforts. There's Buse to Malakalis. To the half-forward line. Stoneham has to wait for the bounce again. Morris punches it straight to Gary Hocking. Oh, that's a poor kick. An up and under kick, but is that a mark? No. Still not paid. Forsman, here's a chance. Riccardi is on the right foot. Races into goal. Swings it back. A beautiful kick for a goal. So, Peter Riccardi kicks his first. Geelong hanging in there. 10-8 to 12-11.
Yes, well, they probably don't really deserve to be there as Fletcher comes back on the ground for St Kilda. Here's the replay. Heffernan almost just couldn't control it. Riccardi receives a hand pass and just brings that back nicely from the member side of the ground. Geelong, of course, they've got that potential on that forward line. If they do get out there enough, they still could win this game.
Peter Riccardi kicking his first goal and keeping the Cats in it. Burke thumps it 20 metres downfield. Winmar in the road. And still he goes. Darcy finally runs at him. Winmar kicks out towards McAdam. Hinkley's there with him. He can't trap it inside the line. It's going to be a throw-in.
The other area, Peter, where Geelong has improved has been around the centre square, because Damien Burke well on top of Vidovic, just about getting every knockout now, Damien Burke in that centre square.
Gets one here on the boundary line. St Kilda have the numbers. Kick it. Newport. Whistle on play. It's going to be a free kick. Fletcher. Newport. In front of Malakalis. Too far out to score from there. Oh, there he is again. Stuart Lowe, just too strong for just about everybody.
Yeah, well, ideal conditions for marking Stewie Lowe. He was a bit slow starting off when he had Stoneham on him, because he's a very good player, as we know, Barry Stoneham. But Stewie Lowe now has taken 9 marks. He has been averaging 11 marks per match.
He's kicked 4 goals, 3 so far today.
It's going to be a hard man to beat for the Brownlow medal this year, I'd say, Pete.
That's money talking, is it, Pete?
Well, no, not really. He's had some outstanding games, though.
40 metres out. He might have allowed just a little bit too much this time. So 4 goals, 4 to Stewie Lowe. Out of the Saints' tally of 12-12. The Cats still in it as Billy Brownless nearly gets decapitated by a flag. Oh, that's not one of his better kicks. Off the side of the boot a little bit, and he still kicked it 50 metres. Greg. Winmar tried to keep it in play, couldn't do so. And a throw in. 55 metres from goal.
An opportunity there for St Kilda, had Greg been able to tap that one back to Winmar.
Burke, Hocking, no support for him, slaps it out the side, intended for Ablett. Kickett's there. Riccardi applies the tackle. Ball spills free into the arms of Fletcher. A high kick up towards almost the full forward position. Poole or fumbles. Sort of the story of Geelong today, and Poole finally getting the hand pass away to Bairstow. Bairstow from right half back. The 2-man war. Stoneham tried the juggle, gets paid the free kick for being held when not in possession.
Stoneham to the pocket. Tim Darcy over the back. He's got 2 to beat, and then heads for the boundary line and puts it over.
Doesn't Timmy Pekin wear his opponent close? See on that occasion, Timmy Pekin. Look at his stats: 4 marks, 10 kicks, 6 handballs. But so many times he just does those little hard things in football.
And I think Fitzroy know that they made a mistake letting Tim Pekin go, Bernie.
Well, that happens on a lot of occasions, Pete. I think a lot of sides could say, well, look at the players we've let go over the years, and they've turned out to be a success.
Half forward for the Cats. Stoneham a chance, and Barry Stoneham has threaded this one through for a goal. Well, Stoneham's kicked his second, and I think it's been a good move to move him to the forward line. They're fighting back, Geelong. They're right back in it, 11-8 to 12-12.
Well, look at that, 10 points of margin now, and Geelong has kicked 6 goals in this third quarter. St Kilda has kicked 4. And I think Kenny Sheldonwood now starting to worry a little bit about the form around the middle of the ground, because Damien Burke well on top. 20 hit-outs to 12 now, and Damien Burke just getting further and further in front.
2 goals to Barry Stoneham, the difference back to 10 points now, so the Cats slowly getting there. Vidovic away from the centre circle. Good tackle applied by Malakalis. Ball still on the bottom of the deck. Greg, a quick kick to the 50-metre line. In fact, it's gone a little bit further. Geelong have the numbers off the ground. Goes Handley. Harvey tried likewise. Buse over the top. Good hand pass to the advantage of Riccardi. And Riccardi kicks with the left foot up towards Stoneham. Couldn't take the mark. Stoneham tries just to get it before the boundary line. But the Cats just lifting a little bit, aren't they?
Yes, you can feel it, can't you, Pete? This third quarter, they've had a good quarter. And a good term, by far the best term for Geelong.
And of course, the Saints should have been a lot further than 20 points in front at half-time. Ablett, who's kicked 2 goals. Both of them came up in the first quarter. Good angle shot. Still he goes, Ablett. Long, in towards Hocking. And off target by the champ and through for only 1 behind.
Not a bad left foot kick, Bernie.
Not bad from 60 metres out.
11-9 to 12-12. And the difference is 9 points. Russell Morris will bring the ball back into play.
Well, he's having a great duel with Stoneham. The pushing and shoving going on between those two. honours pretty even. Oh, Morris. Oh, I don't think he got a hand of that.
No.
So that was Steve Newport. So Darcy will take it at 70 metres, brings it into half forward. The mark taken by Couch, and St Kilda just starting to slow down, Bernie.
Yes, you can feel it at the moment, and the Cat supporters they can also sense that something's happening here. A bad kick out from fullback from Russell Morris to set this up.
Paul Couch from 40 metres stabs a goal and puts it through. First goal of the game for the Geelong centre man, but most importantly now Geelong only trail by 3 behinds.
Yes, well, really St Kilda has stopped to a walk. Stewie Lowe has kicked 2 goals in this third quarter for St Kilda. He's in fact kicked 2 goals, 3 for the quarter. There's the replay of that kick out from Russell Morris on the members' side of the ground. Devonport was by himself, 30 metres clear. Had he gone the other side, it would have been a far better option for St Kilda.
Only 3 points the difference thrown now at Kardinia Park, which is certainly what everybody expected. Vidovic taps the ball down. Harvey, the Saints get it out of the centre, up towards their half-forward line. Hinkley's in the road for Geelong. Geelong lifting. Burke, march at half-forward. Thought about going on with it. The former skipper will put his side deep into attack again.
Very slow, very slow. They've covered every option now, St Kilda.
So he has to go long, which he does. Towering kick. Ablett in front. Gee, Stoneham was almost held there. Off the ground. Forsman, was it, or Hockey? They've got the goal. Might have been Forsman.
Yeah, Forsman for mine, Pete.
13-9 to 12-12.
And Geelong in front. Still 3 minutes remaining on the clock in this third quarter. Burke took a lot of time getting rid of that ball, but a long kick into the forward line. Here we see it spill to the ground. A couple of players could have kicked it through, either Hocking or Forsman. Forsman, the player getting his boot to the ball and putting Geelong in front.
The Cats supporters very happy as their side leads by 3 points. Burke has dominated the ruck in this quarter. St Kilda badly need now to fight back with 1 or 2 quick goals. There's Greg. That was Conklin crashing his way through. Conklin again. Or Geelong have lifted their work rate. You can see it. Harvey. Winmar from 45 metres. An open goal coming up, and the brilliant Winmar slams it through. He's kicked his first. And the Saints hit back and now lead by 3 points.
Yeah, well, what a match we're seeing here. The match of the day, and, well, the closeness of the scores indicate that it was justified, these two sides. On top of the ladder, well up, close to the top of the ladder. And Nicky Winmar's had an ordinary day kicking for goal, but on that occasion, 45 metres out, made no mistake.
Nicky Winmar, 1 goal, 1 against his name, as the Saints lead by 3 points. Top quarter of football. Vidovic and Burke go at it. Oh, Burke kicks it out of the centre. Harvey with Buse. Stoneham off the ground for Geelong, inside 50. Burke should get there first for St Kilda. Around Merriman, long looping hand pass to Devonport. Devonport on the boundary line. It's up towards Fletcher. Ball bounces kindly for him once and then twice. Fletcher keeps going. Low again.
10th mark, Pete. Stewie Lowe in front. Always in front, Stewie Lowe.
And the distance won't be a problem for him. Here it is again.
And look at that, 2 big Geelong defenders in front of Hinkley and the other one Handley. And just once he gets his hands to the ball, there's no stopping him.
Like a vice or a giant clam.
And one of the fairest players playing in the game too, Bernie.
Yes, he makes the ball the object all the time, doesn't he?
4 goals, 4 he's kicked so far. From 48 metres. 4 goals, 5. He's now kicked.
Well, he could have won the game for St Kilda off his own boot in this term, Pete, because he's kicked 2 goals, 4 in fact for the term.
So 4 points the difference as Brownless kicks in. This is a better kick from Billy. It's a magnificent roost. Vidovic at the back, can't take the mark. Forsman, who kicked the last goal for Geelong. Up towards midfield, no mark taken. Pekin farms it out well to Devonport, one of St Kilda's most constructive players this afternoon.
Yes, he's been a good player, Craig Devonport. He brings it in towards Lowe again. Brownless also there. Brownless read it well. may not be his kick, it might be his teammates. Was at 50 metres as well.
Now that's the first mark to Billy Brownless. It was knocked out of his hand after he took that mark. And that's why the 50-metre penalty is being applied.
Billy Brownless, well, he's almost in the centre. He'll kick this about 70, I'd imagine. Oh, a bit of a wobbly one, but he's found Stoneham. Stoneham from 55 metres. It looks like he's going to have a shot. Barry Stoneham, he fancies himself. Slight breeze favouring him.
Less than a minute left.
Well, Barry Stoneham in towards goal. Oh, did that sneak in? No, just to the right-hand side. A little bit of excitement amongst the Geelong supporters, but we're in for a great last quarter. 26 seconds of play to end the third. And the margin 3 points in favour of the Saints.
Lawrence Bingham brings the ball back, the former Hawk. Stoneham in front. No mark taken. So the Cats with an opportunity to score as Bairstow is taken down. That's there. Hocking. Yes, he's got the goal. So he's kicked two now, Gary Hocking. And the Cats go to 14-14 to lead by 3 points. The Saints 13-13 just before three-quarter time. Here it is. Stoneham has the ball knocked away. Burke, a knock on.
This replay from the kick in. Maybe Bingham bringing the ball too much down the centre of the ground there. And as we know, Gary Hocking is very good on the left side of his body. Almost as good on the left boot as on the right boot. He's had a good afternoon.
3 seconds remaining before three-quarter time, so hard to see any further scoring. Great goal by Gary Hocking. Burke up high. Thumps it some 35 metres, but there is the siren for three-quarter time. A great quarter of football. Good fight back by Geelong. And the Cats leading by 3 points at the final change. 14-10 to 13-13. 3 points the difference as we begin the last quarter at Kardinia Park. The Cats came back well in the third term. They kicked 5 goals in the last 9 minutes. Can they keep that momentum up? Burke off the ground. The race is on. Kickett should get there first. He does so. Short kick. McGrath showed courage, but then Pollack's his own teammate. Coghlan into an open goal. The hand pass is on. Lowe gets his fifth. And so St.Kilda hits back and the Saints hit the front. Well, what a mistake that was. Two Geelong players colliding. No talking, Bernie, or they didn't see each other.
Well, it did show how committed the Geelong defenders were. The kicker did very well to keep the ball in play over there. There's the two Geelong defenders, McGrath and Stoneham, coming from opposite directions. And Frankie Coghlan making sure of that goal. Could have popped it through himself, but Stewie Lowe kicking his fifth. He's kicked 5 goals, 5.
Back in the centre, Burke. He's against Bingham that time as the ball goes to Stoneham now. He's the man that could really lift Geelong. He's got a new opponent in Allen. The kick in towards the half-forward line. Cummings went for the punch from behind. Here's Ablett. Had a fresh air swing. Forsman's there. Now Ablett. He'll try and get onto the right foot. No, he'll hand pass instead. Here's Bingham. Cleverly done by Bingham to get it back towards the half-back line, then go and get it himself. Hughes taps it onto Bairstow. Mark Bairstow transfers play to the half-forward line. The lead is on by Tim Darcy. A good lead. He's 70 metres from goal. The lead is on. He chips it in short. The St Kilda players get into that hole. Devonport.
Harvey in trouble behind play,
to the centre
Peter.
of the ground.
He could have dislocated a finger, I think.
McGrath gives it to Poole. Kenny Hinkley. A wobbly kick to the half-forward line. Ablett at the back. Punch down by Frawley. That was terrific play. St Kilda, plenty of character as Newport goes to Greg. Now Nathan Burke. Burke to the half-forward line. Winmar. He's got 2 men to beat. Now that was almost a mark. It is a mark to Poole as he punched it and then went and retrieved it on the second bite.
Trevor Poole at the right half-back flank. An up and under kick. Burke and Bingham. 2 number 30s. Harvey. Gee, recovered quickly from that dislocated finger, if that's what it was.
Well, the doctor was straight out to him, Peter, and I think he put it back into place.
Very painful. Burke and Bingham again. Burke, another 30-metre punch away. Devonport is in the road. A good play today. Good tackle by Forsman. Burke. It's Nathan Burke. And up to Brett Bowie. Bowie from left centre wing to Stewie Lowe. The Cats should be able to clear this. Oh, gee, that's almost out of bounds on the fall from Handley's boot. So, some untidy play there from Geelong. They could have had a possession. They're going to have to work hard. Lowe and Handley. It's won by Lowe, and he probably knocks it out of bounds, almost in the identical position. 3 points the difference at three-quarter time in Geelong's favour. It's now 97-94 in favour of St Kilda. Gary Hocking, again, has been a useful player today. Centering kick, Bingham. Up to half forward. Brownless this time. On to McGrath, the most constructive contributor right throughout the match. The former North Melbourne player. Couch with Pekin. Picked up by Dean Gregg. Gregg down towards the right half forward flank. Hinkley. Under his left foot. Hooks it high and not too long. Marking contest down there. It falls to Couch.
Kick looking for Ablett. Oh, brilliantly trapped Ablett. Ablett on the left foot. Kicks it as he goes to ground. Ablett. Great attempt, but Cummings read it well and went back with the flight. And I think, Bernie, if he hadn't have tripped, he might have kicked that one.
Yes, he nearly made something out of nothing, Gary Ablett.
Robert Harvey at half back. Chips it around. He's found Pekin. The Saints fighting hard. They lead by 3 points. A very evenly contested match at the moment. He's McGrath. Centre of the ground is Gary Hocking. He'll be off and running here. Hocking has found a loose. Oh, it's a poor kick by Gary Hocking. Cleared Bairstow. Now he's got it, Bairstow. He straightens up for 20 metres. And Mark Bairstow has goal, and the Cats hit the front. Bairstow has kicked 2. Geelong, they now lead by 3 points.
Yes, and Gary Hocking just going over and congratulating Tim McGrath. That centering kick there, he is taking that kick from Tim McGrath across the half-back line. He found some space there, and just a little toe poke off the ground by Barry Stoneham, setting it up out of the hands of Vallon. And Bairstow kicks his second goal.
And Mark Bairstow now one of 4 Geelong players to have kicked 2 goals. 21 minutes left in this match. What a thriller it's turned out to be. The reserves game was likewise a higher scoring affair, and this one has certainly lived up to expectations. There he is again. This time on the left foot, Gary Hocking to half forward. Out comes Melikalis, or Mansfield it was. Couldn't take the mark. Or Merriman. Ooh. The picture tells it all, I think.
There's no love lost there, is there?
No.
Frawley's actually done very well on Gary Ablett.
He has. Not flattering stats for Ablett. 10 kicks and 2 hand passes, 3 marks.
Cats in attack at half forward.
And they've always got a very good player on him, haven't they, Pete?
Got to have a good, talented player on him.
Ablett up high. Allen gives away the hand pass. The Saints will get clear. Harvey's kick up to half forward. Low. Didn't take the mark this time. Poole into the circle. Burke. It's to Winmar. Oh, good mark, Russell Morris.
Yes, Morris, who has been moved from the back line, with Stoneham getting on top at centre half forward, lining up in the forward pocket on Billy Brownless. And Billy, I think his value to the Geelong side is as a goal kicker. I don't think his future is as a backman.
Russell Morris hasn't scored today. Been playing in defence in the main. No stranger to the forward line when he played at Hawthorn, but that's not a good kick, and he'll be lucky to scrape it in for a behind. And that's all it reaches, according to the goal umpire. 1 point to St Kilda. The difference is now 2 points in favour of the Cats.
Well, he took about 2 paces then, Bernie.
There's Vidovic on the bench. Bingham doing the ruck work for St Kilda.
Hickley to the half-back line. Burt, the flyer, no mark. Back it comes to Mark Bairstow. Bairstow to the centre of the ground. Stuart Lowe's got 2 Geelong players to beat. Look at the pace of Handley. He races away and brings it into the half-forward line. Mark the Forsman. Great play, Handley.
I think the Brisbane Bears once had him, Pete, Handley. You wonder how they can let a player of that size and agility go.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? Played mostly in the reserves.
Yep. Look at the pace of this bloke, Handley. He's a big boy. 194 centimetres, and great delivery into the forward line.
Darren Forsman for his second. It's a shocker, but it might be a mark. No, as it beats the outstretched hands of Barry Stoneham. So it's anyone's game this. 3 points the margin again. But Steve Cummings about to bring the ball back into play.
101 plays 98. Cummings. Good kick. Frawley has the set. Ablett over the top with a good spoil. Couch. Long looping hand pass into the arms of Barry Stoneham. Centering kick from him. Hocking. If he can get clear, he can't. Good tackle by Devonport. Heffernan. And the ball hits the post. So 5 points the difference in favour of the Cats. Their fifth rush behind of the afternoon.
Bit of a chance there, wasn't it, Peter?
Oh.
It was a good hand pass from Hocking, setting it up for Heffernan. He only had to take possession, and it would have been a certain goal.
Bowie makes a lead. Our Pekin, great mark.
He's played a good game, Tim Pekin.
And away goes Brett Bowie. From the edge of the square, the pass not a particularly good one. Winmar, he steals it from Malakalis. Bingham over the top. McAdam likewise over the top. Lowe can kick a goal, or he gives it to Kickett, who fires, and the goal umpire says, yes, it is all clear. Well, one of the best passages of play of the afternoon. 15-14. The Saints hit the front again to the Cats. 15-12.
It's just a little mistake by Heffernan at one end of the ground. There's a great grab by Tim Pekin. Off to Bowie very quickly. And they found plenty of space to run into. Could have taken that mark, Malakalis. It's spilt to Bingham, who's doing a good job in the ruck in this final quarter. McAdam to Lowe. And Kickett finishing it off.
Saints by 2 points. What a great game of football now. Seesawing game. Good coaching move to put Bingham in the ruck, and a fresh man. Was that a mark to Stoneham? Umpire said no. The Geelong supporters don't like it as Tim Allen tries to shuffle it out. Now he's got it, Allen. Gives it across to Harvey. Robert Harvey in towards Lowe. Free kick in the back against Billy Brownless. Against Steve Handley, I should say. And Lowe will kick from about 40 metres.
Stewie Lowe coming in for his sixth goal, in fact. There's an obvious free kick. The danger man, the defender's very worried about Stewie Lowe's marking power. 10 marks again today. He's been averaging 11 as Heffernan comes off the ground and Brown back on into that forward line.
Yes, that's probably because Heffernan fumbled that ball 2 minutes ago, which probably cost them a goal. Now, vital kick this by Lowe. He's kicked 5. He kicks, and Stewie Lowe has goal. 6 goals to the big centre-half forward, and the Saints lead by 8 points.
There's big Stewie Lowe, a real match winner, isn't he, for St Kilda? As you said earlier, Pete, an obvious choice for the Brownlow medal this year if he keeps up this kind of form, because in front of the umpire, under the umpire's notice with his marking strength. There's a free kick against Handley, and Stewie Lowe has kicked 6 goals, 5 behinds, including 4 behinds in that third quarter.
So the Saints once again get a bit of breathing space. 8 points the difference in favour of St Kilda. Burke. Another 30-metre punch away. Pekin. Devonport. Devonport at the right half-back flank. Looks for Bowie. Just about took the mark. Chance for Merriman, who gets skittled.
Bowie should have taken that mark, I think, Pete. They would have been away against St Kilda.
2 hands.
2 hands needed. Yep.
So Russell Merriman short of the centre wing position. Cats needing a goal. Plenty of time for either side to sew this match up. Damien Burke, the former skipper. Gee, that's not a good kick. Up and under. Darcy late on the scene.
They've lost about 40 metres here, Pete.
Malakalis. And they've lost the ball. McAdam, nearly threw that to kick it. They might be able to retrieve it. No, they won't. Oh, Nathan Burke. Bad kick. Again, an up and under job. Forsman couldn't take the mark. There he is. Stewie Lowe. Another behind kick by him. So 6 goals, 6.
He started the day. He'd kicked 16 goals, 24. That takes it to 22 goals, 30. So his accuracy is still not there, Stewie Lowe.
Brownless kicks in. Handley went up one-handed. but Trevor Poole at the back was able to remedy the situation for Geelong.
Stoneham now, was that a push out? No, he used his body, put his hip in. Couch to the pocket, the lead is on. Paul Brown, free kick. Yes, he dropped the mark, but no doubt about the free kick to Brown. He copped it from Shanahan right across the neck. And this young kid has got a lot of talent, Paul Brown.
It was after he dropped the mark too. I don't think he would have taken that had Shanahan not applied that rather crude tackle.
Well, he's normally a great kick too, Bernie.
This is his first kick for the afternoon.
Well, let's have a look at this one. Give him a rap. Give a man a rap, he'll let you down. This could be a mark. Stoneham has marked on the line.
Well, that's not good enough, is it?
No. Not desperate enough by Tim Allen then. Now he's chipped it across. Will that be allowed? I don't think so. Now he's got to go back and bring it over the mark now. He's going the banana kick. Or is he still looking for the short one? Bairstow, that went about 5 metres, not paid. Bairstow around the corner, still up in front of goal as Bingham hooks it through from behind. And Stoneham and Bairstow having a go at the umpire, but really it didn't travel far, did it?
It didn't appear to.
14 and a half minutes left in this thriller at Kardinia Park. Bowie in front of Ablett. Played a good game, hasn't he, Bernie?
Yes.
Centering kick from him. And St Kilda had the numbers there. Devonport, I think we could use the same words to describe his effort this afternoon. Gets away from Poole, straight down the ground. And the mark taken by Hinkley. Stoneham, not Burke it is, with Bingham. Poor Couch. Over the top, into the circle. Darcy running in front of Winmar. Catch forward line pretty open. Shanahan got the front position, gets it over to Newport and through some pretty heavy traffic back to Cummings, Gregg, and they'll run it out. Shanahan up towards midfield. Burke grabbed, ball spills free. Devonport gets it back from Coughlin and still he goes.
That's a bad handball.
McAdam, who's had trouble shooting for goal today. And Brown's able to drop back.
A casual play by St Kilda, I thought there, Peter, through that middle of the ground. Devonport, the culprit.
Billy Brownless, good kick. Geelong had the numbers out there, but Nathan Burke chips in first. The hand pass is over to Coughlin. Winmar does well, long hand pass.
Well, here's Nathan Burke again. He runs straight at the ball. Frank Coughlin from 40 metres. Coughlin sets sail for home and hooks it badly. And the goal umpire races across and signals one behind. The Saints, the Cats supporters breathe a sigh of relief because the last thing they want is a goal to St Kilda right now. 103 to 112. 9 points the margin. Brownless a wobbly one. Bingham 2 bites. No mark. Here's Lowe. Goes backwards. Devonport and Lowe have been great players. Devonport sets it up for McAdam. Oh, he was grabbed off Phil McAdam.
Yes.
I think it's a free kick.
He's going to get it, Pete.
He was grabbed by Trevor Poole, no doubt in the world, and a free kick to McAdam right in front.
No complaints from Trevor Poole there either. You know, he knows he's got the free kick. He's given the free kick away over the shoulder. He grabbed him early, then the second free kick was over the shoulder, so no doubt about that one.
Well, 9 points, this will make it 15. Gilbert McAdam from right in front. Kicks and goals.
So St Kilda 2 goals from free kicks in the final quarter. Malcolm Blake would not be happy with that. 17-16 to 15-13.
Certainly not a free kick right in front of goal such as that one. Gilbert McAdam. Bingham, who's playing okay in the ruck in this last quarter. We see this hand pass from Stewie Lowe to Devonport into the goal square. He just held him off there, did quite well doing that, McAdam, and won the free kick.
Gilbert McAdam has kicked 1 goal, 3. So 2 goals from free kicks in the final quarter. The earlier one going to Stewie Lowe. But both were fairly blatant, and something that Malcolm Blight, I'm sure, would not appreciate at this stage of the game. So it's going to be difficult for the Cats to get back into it now. In the closing stages of the third quarter, they kicked 5 goals in 9 minutes. They trail now by 15 points. 12.25 minutes left in the match. McAdam's first goal. Burke, he's been magnificent at the centre bounces today. Stoneham loses out to Nathan Burke. Hocking overruns the ball. And Allen can't tie it up. Tim Pekin can. Poole might get there first. No, he doesn't. Players crash to the ground in their desperation to try to pick it up. Couch nearly pinned. Bairstow is pinned. Did he have the ball?
No, the free kick to Timmy Pekin. Another great tackle. He's been terrific under pressure today, Tim Pekin.
McAdam has marked just inside the boundary line. In front of the St Kilda supporters there on the outer side. Winmar also just inside the boundary line. If the Saints can get a goal here from this forward thrust, might almost be home. Almost. Hughes gives away the hand pass onto Hinkley. Hinkley kicks from inside 50. Space on their forward line. Stoneham has the ball punched away by Allen, who tries to follow up. Stoneham again. Moving like a rover. He'll have to kick it quickly this time, and he does. Out towards half forward. St Kilda have the numbers. Knocked away by Frawley. Good defence. Done a pretty good job on Adler today. And this guy's done a great job. Devonport. He's kept it off with 2 goals. Kicks to half forward. No mark taken. Malakaris has to go for the boundary line. Not too many options. And he finds Devonport there again.
Craig Devonport from 60 metres, now 50. Kicks it a goal, Devonport. Shepherding by McAdam. And it has bounced the left-hand side.
Nicky Winmar not happy there, saying, why didn't you centre? Why didn't you centre the ball there to Nicky Winmar? Had a look at Devonport. It was obvious. He was 15-20 metres in the clear.
Brownless chips it across to McGrath. McGrath, the long kick to centre wing. Darcy can't mark. Now he's got it, Tim Darcy. They need a couple of quick goals badly. 10.5 minutes of play left. Was that a free kick to Allen? Umpire said no. Stoneham working hard. Here's Forsman with the chance. 35 metres, Darren Forsman kicks, and Darren Forsman has kicked a great goal.
Forsman second. 16-13, 109, and St Kilda 17-17, 119.
Well, it still could go either way this game. Only 10 points the difference. And Geelong not to be done with yet. Still got the talent there on that forward line. If they get the ball down there quickly enough. And it depends on Damien Burke and there's players around that centre square. If they can get that centre break again.
10 points the difference at Kardinia Park. Burke knocked away from Hocking. Winmar on the burst, gets taken down. Good hip and shoulder by McGrath, but Winmar, like an India rubber man, bounces back. It's Bairstow with the clean possession at midfield. He's kicked it out towards the wing position. Knocked away by Devonport, Riccardi and Burke. Newport close to the boundary line and pushed in the back for his trouble. Ball out of bounds, throw in.
Winmar felt that bump too, Pete. He's still bent over.
Hip and shoulder, totally fair.
Yep.
Bingham wins this one for St Kilda. Almost against views, but Bingham does well. The big fellow. Good tackle again by McGrath as the Saints try to work it around the boundary line towards their goal. Taken over the boundary line by Andrew Buse, and Nicky Winmar back on his feet, taking a couple of deep breaths. We've got a boundary throw in under the scoreboard on the outer side. Bingham and Burke. Burke again, who's rucked tirelessly today for Geelong, as the Cats try to scramble the points from this game. Malakaris gives away the hand pass. Hinkley steady from centre half back. Up towards half forward, marking contest. Punched away by Greg. Forsman, a good shepherd, enables him to get clear. Brown, he's come back onto the ground. Can't beat his opponent down there. Shanahan, and the ball out of bounds, right half forward flank for the Cats.
Geelong fighting hard. They only trail by 10 points. Next goal vitally important. Here's Stoneham a chance. A handball to Forsman. Now it's Riccardi racing into an open goal, and Peter Riccardi has made the difference 4 points. Well, what a game of football we're seeing at the moment. Riccardi's kicked 2, and this game is right up for grabs. 4 points the margin, St Kilda lead.
Yes, they're not to be denied, are they, Geelong? He's come back on every occasion. Gary Ablett doing the ruck work there. Stoneham, he's been an important player in this Geelong resurgence since he's been moved back to that centre half forward position. Did pick up Stewie Lowe early.
8 minutes left, 4 points the difference, anyone's game. Burke from the centre bounce with Bingham. Good tackle by Bingham. McGrath and Kickett. Coughlin overruns it. McGrath off the ground to centre wing. Newport won't get there first. Good tackle by that player. Bairstow is able to knock the ball clear for Geelong, and Gregg takes it over the boundary line in front of Forsman. The match certainly living up to expectations. We go back to the elimination final last year at Waverley. There was just over a kick in it then. What's it going to be this afternoon? Saints not a great record in recent times against Geelong. Gregg, kick from the half-back line, and the mark is taken by Kickett at the left centre wing. McAdam is the target at the back, gets the ride, doesn't get the mark. Ball hits the deck. Sock it away. Now towards the boundary line, Lowe loping after it. He's unable to make ground, the big fellow, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in on the left half-forward flank for the Saints. Between wing and half-forward. Lowe's going to do the ruck work. Now it comes to Burke. Marking contest, no one can take it. Hand pass to Coughlin. Came from Harvey. Oh, gutsy mark taken by Brownless. Billy hasn't had the greatest of days, but that took courage, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Vital mark is at 50 metres.
Yes, it is, Pete.
50 metres for a holding.
And Billy will try this into attack, won't he, Pete?
Well, he'll kick it 70 metres, and with the aid of 50, it's a big advantage to Geelong. They only trail by 4 points, so he's found Burke. Now Hinkley, danger for the Saints. Geelong starting to get a run on. Hinkley to the half-forward line, and Stoneham is lifted. On to Bairstow. The leader's on by Brown. Brown to the pocket, and Brown marks right on the boundary line. A vital kick by this young player.
He's been quiet, Paul Brown. Coming in for only his second kick. Spent a bit of time on the bench. Had a quiet one last week also against Collingwood. This is a vital kick for Geelong.
I mentioned earlier he's a very good kicker. He kicked a poor one. Well, there's a wobbly one in front of goal, and the mark has been taken. It looks like Merriman.
Merriman it is.
It's Russell Merriman playing in front. Steve Cummings with the hands on the head. He knows he was caught behind, and Merriman will kick from 10 metres.
Well, that's when you just have to really expect the unexpected, I suppose, in those sort of situations, because you would expect Brown to make the distance 9 times out of 10 from there.
Merriman for his second, and he kicks it. Geelong in front. 121 to 119. The Cats now lead by 2 points.
Well, can they hang on, Bernie? 5.5 minutes to go.
And Newport off with St.Kilda. Fletcher back on. He did miss last week, Fletcher, with a knee injury. He spent a lot of time on the interchange bench this afternoon. But the crowd right behind Geelong now. 2-point advantage. It's not over yet. St Kilda can still win this match. The centre square, very important, this break. Crowd going berserk.
Crowd certainly getting its money's worth this afternoon. The Cats in front by 2 points only. 121 to 119. A backhander by Burke. Outlet from Poole. Mark missed by Cummings. And another opportunity for Geelong. Darcy swings onto his right foot. Bairstow. Danger for St Kilda here. He's got it again. Attempted punch to the boundary line. Not successful. Snapshot out of bounds or behind. It's the latter option. Kicked by Mark Bairstow, who's first behind of the day. 2-1 he's kicked, but the difference is 3 points. So still just a kick at it as Vidovic prepares to come back on for St Kilda. Shanahan kicks in. Beautiful kick straight down the ground. Marking contest. Stoneham! Great grab!
This is one of the players. He's lifted. It's in a half forward.
4 3/4 minutes left in this match. Stoneham doesn't go for distance. Shanahan poleaxes Couch. Merriman, Riccardi, Couch. Kick came from Russell Merriman. Only one behind. 2 goals, 1 to Merriman. 18-15 to 17-17. Still just a kick at it. 123 to 119. Devonport to bring it back.
Just over 4 minutes of play left. 4 points the margin. The Cats lead. Oh, Stoneham again is improving his class here. Stoneham to the half-forward line. A man unattended is Tim Darcy. Now, I would say, Bernie, without a shadow of a doubt, Tim Darcy will nearly make the distance from here.
They'll be kicking from about 55 metres, Tim Darcy, but they have been kicking the ball long distances today, the players. Ideal conditions, of course, here at Kardinia Park for football.
Tim Darcy, a long kick of a football. Breeze slightly left to right. He runs out to the right. It's a wobbly kick to the pocket. Oh, Cummings back to the flight of the ball. And the ball bounces over the line. But there's Gary Ablett speaking to Darcy. I think Ablett's going to try and grab a little bit of the ruck work, Ablett here. No, he won't. Goes to ground. Players racing after it. Bairstow collared from all angles. And the umpire's going to come in and bounce. Time clock showing 3 minutes and 20 seconds of play left in this match. 4 points. The Cats lead.
And if they can get a goal here, it might just be enough. The Saints try to crowd it up. Vidovic goes at it. Burke wins it. Brown tries to pinch it. Snapshot. He's got the goal! It's there! Paul Brown has kicked what may be the winning goal. Geelong 19-15. St Kilda 17-17. The difference is 10 points.
Yes, we'll have a look at this again. The bounce down of the ball. Damien Burke again getting his hand to it. The two Geelong players almost fighting each other for it, Ablett and Brown. But an enormously talented player, Brown. Paul Brown. Been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks. Just spinning out of that pack and kicking a vital goal.
Just under 3 minutes of play left. The Cats by 10 points. A big fight back. St Kilda dominated for much of the game, but the Saints go forward again through Fletcher. Here's Hinkley heading for the wide open spaces. The race is on. Poole versus Winmar, and it beats Nicky Winmar over the line.
Some good defence in this last quarter by Hinkley. A good knock on over the other side of the ground, and then a defensive kick to the boundary line.
Stoneham's a man that's really lifted Geelong at centre half forward. The vital position, centre half forward. Kicked off the ground towards Greg. That was by Coghlan. He's still going on with it, Greg. Then he went without it. Here's a chance for Bowie. Bowie on the left foot brings it in towards goal. It's a loose ball. Can the Saints pick it up? Harvey's there. Off the ground, Harvey. Oh, he's kicked it sideways. For a point, he only had to soccer it with the instep for a goal, and they would have been back in it. 9 points the margin. There's a disconsolate-looking Kenny Sheldon up in the box. Have they got time, the Saints? 2 minutes of play left.
Brownless kicks it a country mile. Poole and Burke. Free kick Geelong's way.
I thought that was an honest clash.
And they both had eyes for the ball, Pete, didn't they?
That's what I would have thought, Pete.
Burke, Poole, looks for Couch, sits nicely for him, around Devonport, tried to find Forsman, the boundary line was too close, 1 minute and 3/4 left in this superb game at Kardinia Park.
I don't think they'd be too upset about the ball going out of bounds there.
Not at this time of the day, no. Stoneham, the man who's made the difference to bring the Cats back, punches it out again. So Barry Stoneham not doing much wrong at the moment.
Good possessions, good stats for Stoneham. 9 marks, 20 kicks and 5 hand passes.
I'll tell you what, most of those would have come after half time. I think Bernie too, wouldn't they? Ablett.
Sure would have.
He goes for the boundary line again. This is real old-fashioned football in the dying stages of the match.
Of course, the clock's still ticking down while these boundary throw-ins are taking place.
It's just about robbed St Kilda of any chance. Allen this time, but hits it straight to Bairstow. His snapshot won't quite make the distance. Shanahan. Winmar. Up from the back line as the clock ticks down. 45 seconds to go. Nicky Winmar. Long, high kick to the centre half forward position. Knocked down by Handley. McAdam gives it over to Coghlan. Into an open goal. Frank Coghlan should score from there. 20 metres out. Shoots. And gets the goal. Oh, what a game. What a game. 29-26. We've got 23 seconds left. 3 points the difference, Bernie Quinlan.
They're still not over, but you would think with 23 seconds only remaining on the clock that Geelong should be able to hang on here. Great hand pass from McAdam over the top. Andrew Hughes stayed back. He wouldn't leave his man. He made Coghlan kick that one himself. Harvey, the player in the square, And what would have happened had Harvey kicked that one off the ground?
23 seconds for the Saints to get a goal and hit the front. They must get it out of the centre, but it's Burke who grabs it and goes forward. Time clock ticking down, 15 seconds. Time running out for the Saints. Now, really, that should be holding the ball. He's dived on it, made no attempt. Fair dinkum. You've got to be consistent on that decision, as Tim Darcy just dived on it. And there is the siren. Geelong, a meritorious victory. There's Gary Ablett. He was held, but Geelong came from nowhere. St Kilda, the better side, Bertie, for most of the game, but they showed their class in the finish, the Cats.
Undoubtedly. The couple of changes that they made, Stoneham, the player on screen at the moment.
Paul Brown, who kicked the winning goal.
And Paul Brown. Tim McGrath has been a real find for Geelong this year. Bit of disappointment for St Kilda. They really did dominate the match in that first half, didn't they? Their kicking for goal let them down. Had so many opportunities in that third quarter, and Harvey would be very disappointed. That one he could have kicked off the ground. And never mind, that's the way it goes.
So Geelong running out winners by only 3 points in one of the great games of football so far this year. 19-15, 129, defeating St Kilda 18-18, 126.